All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer. I'm with Brian the Grizzly. How you doing, man?
It's so funny. Like I feel like I see this blank wall. I'm like, man, it's crazy. But then I just look over to the side.
You got all your jeez, man.
My wall is growing and growing.
What's that Spider-Man one?
Oh, so Spider Punk over there.
Oh, the Spider Punk one is out.
Yeah, so I got the Deadpools up there. German one. There's a hip hop one.
I see the German one. That's funny.
And then I got Rogue over there. And some Loki stuff. So yeah. So though you guys don't see it, it's growing, and the stuff is going to be crazy. It's nuts.
Has your dad come home yet and saw all the stuff?
Yeah, then he comes over tomorrow. He's gonna be like, "What the hell, bro?" Oh, it's so funny.
I'll leave you alone for 2 weeks. Come back and take over.
Just wait till this house is ready. It's gonna be so much. I'm gonna have so much stuff. And then E2 is gonna be right around the same time too. Oh man.
Yeah. Which we need to finish up and get tickets for that.
No, for real. I might end up doing that. Just say forget it. I'm buying my own tickets. It's for you guys.
Yeah. Well, I need to. So for most Comic Cons, if anybody is watching, you want to go to a Comic Con, if you have a .edu account, you can apply for like a press pass, and usually if you work at the library, you volunteer at the school and stuff like that, so you can get a crazy discount. So I reactivated my EDU account. But yeah, you and Brandon, man, let me know if you have access to one. I can fill that out like tomorrow. We already missed the mail in, so we would have to do will call, but that's fine.
Hey, you already know I got some, so
yeah, exactly. I know you do, but you gotta get Brandon on something because usually like C2E2 is like for 3 days is like $115, I think. Yeah. But if you get the press pass, it's like $30, $35. So it's a big difference.
It's like 40, 50, 30 or something like that.
What's that?
Like that's how it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like 40, 50, 30, something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Because that mom is like, let Brandon go. Geez, that was real. Brandon, wake up. Nah, he's saying here's some work stuff.
No, he's in Vegas, y'all.
Yeah, but that's still work stuff, right? I'm assuming.
Sure.
Yeah. I know, right? We got Perp in the house. What's up, Perp? How you doing, man?
Luke. What's up, man?
What's going on? I think I watched Perp's video about Dune and whether it's gonna hit like a bill or not. So that was a good video.
I can't wait to talk about it. I'm just gonna hold my tongue.
Yeah. Well, that one wasn't really. I mean, it was kind of like a review a little bit, but you were talking more like, is it gonna hit it? Is it gonna hit the bill and stuff like that? So yeah,
I mean, because you look at the next 3 weeks, what else is coming out?
Exactly.
Kung Fu Panda 4. Okay. Until Godzilla comes out, man, you ain't got no worries. Like Dune should be making hundreds. I think it hits 400 domestically by the end of the month.
Yeah. Oh, that's super possible. I mean, it's already halfway, almost half. Oh, domestically.
I think it hits 400 domestically. Like that's huge.
Yeah. Damn. That's true. Scottish Geek Guy, what's up? Howdy, folks.
What's up,
I think I saw you over on you're on Zack Attack's one's video, right? Are they still going? I know they were going on for a little while. I was in chat over there a lot watching. It was Zack Attack's, Kenny Sparks, and Dave's show, so it was cool.
Okay.
You guys talk about it.
So at least one guy has my same viewpoint.
No, they all love that thing, man. They all love that movie.
I mean, it's a beautiful movie. It's a movie made for people that love movies, or if you love the story of Dune, because that's the thing. The story of Dune is so good. If you know it,
Yeah.
You, you can't, yeah, you can't mess it up.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah, man, they're still
Oh yeah,
going. They're
give it
still
to M.
going.
Night Shyamalan, and next you know it'll be
Well, that was part of
no
the
another
thing.
movie. Why
I
does he
know.
keep on getting movies? Like,
Well, he's the new one looks The Watchers, which I want to watch that trailer with either today or probably most likely Thursday. That looks interesting. But that's the thing, his movies look interesting. His movies look interesting.
I've been fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me
Yeah.
twice, shame on me. Fool me 15 times. I know better.
Yeah.
I know better.
I'm still
The
gonna watch
happening look cool. The happening look cool.
it. Yeah.
And he was like, the trees did it.
Yeah. Yeah. That happened. But yeah, they're still going. That's cool. Yeah, those guys are awesome guys over there. So yeah, I was in chat kind of talking to him a lot and stuff. And I know Zach is reading the book, the first book. I don't know if he's finished or not, but the other two, Kenny and Dave, they didn't read it. They don't plan on reading it. So I was
Oh,
like, yeah, you know,
we talked about that last night. I mean, you and
yeah,
I were just on there talking about it,
yeah.
and
Then,
it's a
yeah.
confusing book.
It gets so much. It gets well. So that was like one of the things back in the day was that Dune was considered an unadaptable book. Like it's impossible
So
to. It's not only that. It's how you're going to explain all this like craziness. You know what I mean? Like you got this. Messiah is he not a Messiah? You have the planet stuff. Then you have the Emperor stuff. You have the Space Guild stuff. Like you
because the
have
space
so
build
many
things,
players.
what's the point of spice? Like, what's the point? Like, oh, it's to sharpen your skills. It's basically cocaine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
pretty much. Or mushrooms. I found out
shrooms. That's the one.
he took inspiration from mushrooms. Variant Comics. Was it Variant Comics? Yeah, they did a whole thing about it, and it was like how he was inspired from like mushrooms and the life cycle of mushrooms and kind of like the whole like worm kind of thing. I was like, oh.
That
So I was
makes
like, it was an interesting one.
perfect sense.
Yeah,
I was thinking about
yeah.
Sherlock Holmes and how he used to take cocaine to sharpen his skills to kind of
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah,
who
but it's
did what.
definitely drug. But yeah, even like the old one, the one from was it 84, I think, or whatever. Like
That's
he
it.
had said he wanted that to be like a drug trip without taking drugs, which it kind of was, the whole movie was, but like I know Brandon Davis said on Facebook that like he goes, "Oh, that's horrible by today's standards." I was like, that was horrible by 1984 standards. Like it wasn't good back then either, but yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. First off, the 84 version, my God, it's difficult to get through. It,
Because it's adapted straight from the book, and the book
yeah,
is hard to read and to
it's a hard read.
understand.
Yeah. Book 2 is a little bit easier. One, it's like half the size too. It's like not as long. Book 1 is
You ever
like
pick up the book where it's like
huge.
this?
Yeah. It's massive. It's massive. Even if they're smaller, the print is like you need like a magnifying glass. But yeah, it's a massive book and everything's like crazy. No, the second book is a little easier, and then I stopped reading after that. But yeah, it was difficult to get through, and like you said, that's what happens when you do a one-to-one like remake, and it just doesn't always work out. And I think that's why Denis Villeneuve his version is a little bit better, or actually a lot better, because
Take some liberties.
he takes some liberty and changes things, and yeah. So
I mean, I think that's what you have to do too, and you can't go one to
we're gonna
one.
get started in a little bit.
You can't take one for one from anything. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
I mean that's what I learned from watching Harry Potter, reading all the Harry Potter books, and getting all excited about that, and then understanding you cannot go one to one. If you do one to one, I mean, first of all, it goes too long, and the details. Some things details are you have to say it in a book, and some things are assumed just from reading or from watching. Like I think you really don't get the context clues in the Harry Potter book of that Neville could have also been the one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, but they don't say that verbatim. They don't explain that, but you can kind of understand from the storyline. If you read the book and you watch the movie, you understand that Neville could also been the boy who remains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're all like that. There was well, let's see. Game of Thrones is a perfect example. Like they cut out a lot of stuff in Game of Thrones for the show. Like the mom, after the mom, dies, she comes back and she's like not a zombie, but like a vengeful
spirit.
like
no, what's a
spirit, but
spirit
not
though?
really a spirit.
Because it was a body.
Yeah, she was conscious and able to make decisions, but she just wanted revenge, and I forgot what her name, they called her something else, but she was just like, but they didn't even bother, which makes sense. Like, let her die, and then let the family kind of carry on the revenge instead of bringing her back and
And then you be
yeah.
confused as hell, like, what the hell is that?
Like, what's going on? I thought she died. She's not dead, but she's kind of dead. Yeah, it gets a little crazy.
I want to know what Scotch Geek. Yeah, exactly. I was
Yeah.
like, Shyamalan's a mixed bag. Great
Uh-huh.
movie, good movie, terrible movie, bad movie, good movie, bad movie. I don't know, man. Since The Sixth Sense and Four-Fifths of Signs, I don't know if I love anything he's done.
Mm.
I'm not a Shyamalan fan, man. I don't know, man. And you know what it is? Because he gets me every single time. Every single time, I'm like, this is going to be the one that's good.
Knock at the Cabin. I liked it. I
did
didn't
like it.
hate it.
I did like it.
I didn't like the ending though, and it's always the ending for
It's
M Night
always
movie.
so
It's always the endings.
I
Old was kind of cool. It wasn't the
The
best.
ending was terrible. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Split was good. I liked
Split
Split.
was amazing. Split
I'm
and Unbreakable.
yeah.
Like Unbreakable was great. No one knew it was a comic book. And then Split happened, and that was amazing. And then Glass, you're just like, you M Nighted it.
You and I
It's like,
exactly.
yeah. After Earth, same thing. It was a cool concept. It looked
No,
cool.
but it was a
Yeah.
terrible movie. It was hard to watch through and walk.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like what's his name? He was still super young and not, I think, a good enough actor yet.
Jaden Smith,
Jaden
yeah,
Smith.
he was,
Yep.
but it was so bad when you have only two actors on the screen. You have to be able to hold the attention.
Yeah, with just two people. I mean, granted, one of them is Will Smith, who's a great actor, but also
But he wasn't the main focus. It was
he
Jaden.
wasn't. Yeah,
Jaden wasn't
yeah,
ready. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Signs.
I think
And then
Four-Fifths of that movie was great till he started
yeah,
about swing away.
yeah,
And you
and
went to
then
a planet that's 80% water.
it made no sense. It made no sense.
The only thing that can stop me is water. And I'm going to a planet that's 80% water where water falls from the sky.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I know you hate The Village. Like The Village, I liked
so much.
I
Oh my
liked
god.
until they explained it. I'm like, then like I feel
I
like you
wanted
could
to
have
throw
done
my
something
chair
cool
at
with
at
it.
the end. I literally wanted
At
to throw
the
my
end,
chair at it.
yeah. The end, I was so pissed. I'm like, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. And then of course the happening,
The
that was
happening.
trash.
Lady in the
Yeah.
water. People love Lady in the Water.
I don't think I've watched that one.
I watched it and it was too much for me. I was like, all right,
I don't think
bro.
I've seen that one.
She's having relations with fish. All right, okay.
No.
Too much for
Yeah, I
me.
don't think I saw that one. The Visit, I saw The Visit again. Not the greatest. I didn't care for it. You know.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I guess he's right though. I mean, that's a mixed bag. That's literal definition of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Like
But his new one, The Watchers, looks good, like a nice scary movie. So we'll see.
he's gonna F
But
it up.
I know the ending's gonna
You
be
gotta
something stupid at the end.
do you remember the happening? There was just people just diving off of
Mhm.
off a roof and buildings. It was nuts. Everything was like, I can't believe what I'm watching. This was
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then you watch the movie and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, I think I
Have you
missed out on Mom Bears in chat and Matt Film Show. What's up, Matt Film
Hey
Show?
man,
Talking about
yeah.
Avatar a little bit. Love the visuals. We talked about it. I got to edit it. It's gonna come out sometime this week, hopefully. But yeah. I'm getting caught up on the edits. I'm only a day behind now. So
That means he
but
worked all weekend, guys. That's
yeah,
what it
yeah.
means.
Well, part of it, I like Sunday. I want to after I felt like shit, we went out, and I'm like, all right, I kind of want to enjoy a nice day with my son, like, because every weekend it's always like, oh, it's 30 degrees and rainy now. Meanwhile, Wednesday is like 70 degrees and sunny. So super
Hey, I
annoying.
mean, it was my wife's birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And my wife, 36. My wife turned
Oh.
36. I was like, she a baby. It's just a baby.
Brandon said Watchers is a no for me. Really? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
his daughter is
From the
directing The
trailer.
Watchers.
I thought he was. That's interesting.
That means he might have a chance,
How old is
guys.
his daughter? I didn't know that. I did. Yeah, I just saw part of Shyamalan, the name. And I was like, oh, hey, look at this. That's kind of cool. I'm sure he's gonna be his production company or whatever he has. He'll probably be
Hey,
behind it or something like that, or he'll be a producer or something. Right?
we got a couple of minutes. Why don't we pull it up real quick?
You want to watch it?
Yeah, why not? I can see that. While you
Yeah,
doing that, I'm gonna
pull it up.
say
Yeah.
what's up to Drew. Hey everybody, what's up? What's up, Drew? Man, yeah,
Uh,
we we were just talking about the Watcher, so I think that we're gonna pull up the trailer and just get it. Once again, he makes great trailers. Like I remember Signs. Signs when I first saw it, I was like, "What the hell?"
no.
It was so good. You know, so, I think that's what made me mad about the Village. I thought that was a great concept too, and then
Hmm.
just like really makes me mad.
The whole time I'm like, oh, who's this beast? What's this monster? It looks cool, like spikes and shit. I'm like, oh damn. And then the worst payoff ever, man.
And M
I was
M
so
Night
upset.
M Nights it.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was
Yeah. Brandon says his expectations that in the ends are like possible explanations that seem plausible and not just some demon stuff like an old.
yeah,
Always, he always tries to explain it away.
yeah.
You know,
That's why I didn't hate I didn't like the old ending, but it wasn't like a horrible ending. It was just like when I was like, yeah, okay, But it was but at least old, like not old. Yeah, old was the demon stuff. Knock at the cabin. I was knock at the cabin because it's kind of biblical,
yeah, and
and it was kind of this choice, and it was like it was kind of interesting. It was really interesting.
what I
So,
liked about Knock at the Cabin is that he left it open ending. Like he didn't tell you what it was.
mm-hmm.
It was like you could believe one, what you believe could be right, or this other side could be right. You don't know which one it is. And I thought that was actually interesting.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's a
But
good way to do
Batista,
these things. Yeah.
that might be one of Batista's best acting. It was in Knock at the Cabin though. He was amazing in it. He
I
was
think he did it himself. Like, he's an introvert, big dude, being a
yeah,
teacher that was really awesome.
yeah,
Um, it was a lot of good turns in that one. So
yeah, yeah. That's why I didn't love the movie, but yeah, yeah.
I think
I
I hit
was
on
just
my
I was
letterbox.
expecting something more.
I was expecting a lot less because of M Night Shyamalan, and I was
Mhm.
expecting it to be like the worst movie of the year because we end up watching what you know 72 movies or something like 73 movies. And I think it was like number like 34 for me. So that's pretty good, for an M
Yeah,
Night movie.
good. Yeah, yeah. Mine was towards the bottom, but it wasn't at the bottom. It wasn't bottom like 10 or anything. But yeah.
I mean, I saw some terrible movies last year. Remember I
Oh
said
man.
Mummies, White Man Can't
I,
Jump. What's the one with
I didn't bother with those.
uh was it You People? Like I'm thinking about like there were some
Oh yeah,
terrible movies I watched
that was
last.
real good. Do you think Michael Keaton's best performance is Birdman? Yeah.
Michael Keaton's really good at a lot of stuff. I like him overall
Yeah.
as an
I
actor.
like Birdman because it was you're able to be like serious, but it was kind of like not jokey, but I mean kind of jokey. Like yeah, it was and it was also kind of like I mean, he was always around, but that was kind of like the comeback. It was like, oh, he's back, and then I started seeing him in more things after Birdman, you know. Yeah.
I don't know. Is anything better than Beetlejuice though? I don't know, man.
I mean,
I'm just gonna be
Beetlejuice is
honest.
very.
Like,
I mean, him and the other guys.
yeah, there's another. Yeah. So I mean,
Might
Beetlejuice
be.
and Batman,
Yeah,
I feel like are the two best movies still. I love Multiplicity. I love Multiplicity. I thought that was so cool.
this is good.
So-
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me because I know it was laggy. The um, am I still laggy?
no, not right now.
No, okay. I'm watching the live on my phone. It looks pretty bad. In the other guys, I thought that was so funny where he's the police captain, and all he just
Yeah.
keeps quoting TLC. Like it was it was like it's just like he's so because he has this scary vibe, and then he's just doing this, and he's kind of goofy, but he's kind of a nice guy. But even his nice guy kind of act is like are you gonna kill me? It's
You
like,
wait for the other shoe to drop. Exactly.
yeah,
Any point in time,
yeah,
you can kill everybody.
yeah, yeah. Uh, M. Night isn't bad, but one thing about his films is that they just take forever to get to what's going on.
Or to the point,
Eh,
or sometimes they
to
don't
the
have
twist.
points. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm going to make a twist, and you're never going to see this coming because it doesn't make sense, and it came out of nowhere. Thank you, M Night.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm not even talking about
That
Last
makes-
Airbender because you ruined the movie for me.
Oh, jeez. Batman Returns is a favorite. Oh, that is one of my favorites. That's one of the best scenes where he's just sitting in this big empty room waiting for the bat signal, and then it comes out and he just stands up. I'm like, that's awesome.
Batman
Super
Returns is
corny.
awesome. The Batman is still awesome. I don't care.
Well,
I like Batman.
American
Personally.
Assassin was great. He was basically Bruce Wayne. I
Yeah,
don't
he
think I've seen
was.
American Assassin. I haven't seen that one. All right. So I know Brandon's like, oh, let's not watch this one. Yeah, you talk about what the F was that Poor Things. I turned that crap off. If you miss the ending, then you miss like the message they were getting to. But I know we did our it's already out, but we did our kind of review / Oscar talk about it. Yeah, if sex on screen puts you off, then yeah, this is not it. That's
When I
not it.
first saw it, I thought it was unnecessary sex. Like graphic for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
You could have done the same thing without showing everything. But I now understand why they did it. I just don't agree with it. I just think that it was still like, it's okay, I guess. I think it's a regular movie. I know it's very artistic. I think I can see why people that are
Yeah.
like artistic movies will love it, but it's just not. It's
Yeah.
not a top 10 movie for me. This wasn't.
No, same. Yeah. Like it was good. I liked it, but it took. Yeah, I mean, by the end of the movie, I was like, okay, I get it. It's cool, But there's some parts in it. I don't know if I want to spoil it, but the part when you find out like she's basically a kid, and then like Mark Ruffalo, although he doesn't know, but he knows she's not fully developed in one way or another, and he still just tries to take advantage of her.
Yep.
But then that plays into the message of the story. So yeah, that was kind of icky for me.
It was very key, yeah. But then
Yeah.
he has problems too, and then at the end of the day, it still is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mark Ruffalo was awesome because he just his ups and downs, mostly down. It was awesome. But yeah, he goes, I hate sex on screen belongs in porn period. Sex on screen ruins movies as much as I love Crank 2 and Fast Forward past the sex scene. I don't need that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, then this one's definitely not for you because like part of her finding like growing up almost, mentally, it was like self-discovery, sexual discovery and stuff. Because even there's a part in the movie, she's like, "Oh, this is great. Why doesn't everyone do this all the time?"
Yeah.
And Mark Ruffalo was like, "Well, you have to explain social norms to a person who doesn't understand social norms." So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I get why people don't like sex on screen.
Takes away from sometimes, but it's also realism too. So if you want to get to something that's real, people do have sex. That's just what it is.
Yeah. So, all right, let's watch this trailer real quick, and then we'll get into to our reviews. We got a few reviews for the night.
Cool.
I haven't seen this trailer yet. I've read about it and I heard people talking about it, but I wanted to save the trailer to watch it with you guys.
I actually saw it in the movie theater.
Oh, what movie?
Dune.
Oh, really? This didn't play for me.
Yeah, I know you said it when at your Adobe, you didn't get to see all this stuff. I got it. I got a lot of trailers too, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah, we didn't get any.
Yeah, I got a lot. I was
No,
like, man,
yeah,
I
we
saw
got like
all these.
2, and then that was it.
I got like
Yeah.
8.
Oh, damn. Yeah. All right. Oh shit. Let me do the whole. intro thing.
Oh,
And I'm sorry if my internet sucks, man. It's been a thing going on for the past couple of days, and it's super annoying. All right, let's do this one. All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer with Brian the Grizzly, and we're gonna check out the Watchers, the new trailer. Um,
worry about it because we
yeah,
talked
let's
about
just
M
jump
Night
into it,
Shyamalan.
and then we'll talk about it a
Yeah,
little bit. It's like
yeah,
a 2 minute
go.
trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah. What is this? From what Perp said, but this is the daughter of M Night.
M
It's M
Night.
Night's
Yeah,
daughter that's directing it. Yeah, yeah. Is Hannah Night Shyamalan? So based off a book, all that cool stuff.
he's still the
But M Night
producer.
is producing it
Yeah.
because of course he is. Yeah, yeah. So cool. Let's check it out. Let me know if you can hear it. All right. All right. What do you think?
I worry. Anytime I know there's gonna be a twist, I'm like, I don't know if I like this twist. And I knew what was going on, and Dakota Fanning is a very good actress, so I mean, I'm sure parts of this movie is going to be great.
Mm.
But I see that the ending come in like like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it turns out to be a train and hit you in the face. I feel like this is going to happen in this movie. And my worry is that June 7th is a terrible time to do this stuff. Because you're gonna have
It
Bad
is.
Boys for Life coming out the same time. And Bad Boys 4, I'm sorry, coming out the same time. I think it's one of those movies that end up flying under the radar and doesn't get as much appeal as it would have gotten, even if it is a good movie. So that's my initial thoughts.
Mm, mm.
What you got? What you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It looks interesting, but again, the twist. Like this is a movie that is going to could be good for 80 to 90% of the movie, and then the ending happens and it sucks and it ruins the entire movie. So it really depends. It said it's based off a novel, which I guess is good. I don't know what the novel was. But ugh. It's like, do I want to sit there and watch a 2 hour movie knowing that it's gonna have a crappy ending? I don't know.
It's the
I don't know.
same. Fool me once, shame on
Maybe
you.
not
Fool me
knowing,
twice, shame on me.
but yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it might have a great ending, So, but again, that's exactly what you said. Fool me once. Yeah,
It might have a great ending,
yeah,
but has it ever? Has he ever had a great?
uh, yeah, yeah. Mama Bear said, "Sex scenes for me depends on the context and who I'm watching it with." Oh, we're talking about the other thing.
Yes.
I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah. What's up, fellas? Looks good. Could have seen it for free today, but I had to work. Oh, really? You could have already saw this one today? Okay, damn. I was kind of curious if you did see it. I was like, "Ooh, we got some inside first reactions." Margaret said, "You can't see them, but they can see you." Not chilling line for a YouTuber. That's true. That's very true. That's very. This whole thing reminded me of an episode of Futurama, where like two of the characters go to this resort to have like a romantic getaway, and you find out later that the resort is like a zoo that these like monkeys like watch the people. So, so I was like, that's what it kind of reminded me of. But the people don't know that they're being watched. That's the only thing. You hear they know they're being watched. But
The Orville. They had an episode
mm,
where Grayson and the captain both were sitting there, and they took them back to their past where they were married, and there's people out there watching them. Aliens were watching them because they're so primitive. They're watching their lives at how it was 7 years ago, and they went through that entire episode. So I remember that. So this is not like a new concept. This is a concept that's done in multiple ways. I you know doubt. It's funny because all M Night movies seem like they could be the same villains. It could be the guys
Yeah,
for the signs. They won, and now they're watching us.
yeah, yeah. That's funny.
It's the tree.
Yeah, I don't know.
The trees tank.
Trees, always the trees. June 7th. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You know, if it gets good reviews, I might go see it. But I don't know if this is a for opening weekend type of movie for me.
Bad Boys 4 is coming out
Um,
that day. So now.
is it? Oh yeah, then for sure, for sure. Yeah, you know, and then Ghostbusters the next weekend. So
The
maybe
next week is Ghostbusters.
three, yeah, 3 weekends after the release, I might go see it. Maybe it depends. But cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's our thoughts or reactions to The Watchers. M. Night's Daughters directing, he's producing. We'll see how it goes. But we want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. You like it, you hate it. Does it look weird? Does it look good? But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And we appreciate that, guys, so much. But if you're watching live, stick around because we're gonna move on to our next topic. All right. How bad am I lagging?
The beginning it was bad, and then all of a sudden it got better, and then it got bad again.
I don't know what to freaking do, man. It's so annoying. Like I'm paying for like fast internet, and I'm getting like if I live out in the middle of nowhere kind of internet.
It sounds like you're dealing with what I was dealing with when we first started. It's feeling the roosters finally coming home to roost now, huh? Chickens come home to roost now. It's all you now. All the stuff I had to deal with, the terrible internet.
This is, but like that's the thing. Like I'm paying. It's
That was frustrating.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm paying for a gig. Uh, give mind holding it down for a couple of seconds or for a few minutes. I'm gonna restart my modem real quick because I'd rather do it now, 30 minutes in, rather than 2 hours in.
I think we could talk about something. I can come up with something.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know.
All right. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do that real quick.
All right, go ahead. All right, guys. So I'm actually gonna go back to one of the star things we talked about. Since no one else is here, we could talk about Dune a little bit for a second. So, I love that Dune 1. That movie was great. So I feel like what that Dune movie did, it actually brought star power. You know, when you had Sting in there, I mean, you had a lot of great actors and actresses in that movie. To a movie that was very, it's a lot. It's a lot to try to put into a movie, um, into any 2 hour, 3 hour thing. Putting star power, bring good actors, doing all this stuff, shortening the plot, helps out the movie a lot. So this past movie, people are saying it's amazing, right? I feel like what they've done, they have amazing performances from everybody. Everyone else in it, I feel like it's amazing performance. Like Zendaya did her damn thing. Like really did her damn thing. So I can't wait to talk about that more. But even Timothy Chalamet, I didn't hate him at all. You know, yeah. Brandon says Dune was a stacked cast. Said word. I love the second one. Didn't have me bored at all. They knew what to do. They knew what to cut out. They knew the minutia. When you have things that you feel like it's important to the story, but you can be explained through context clues. You don't need to say it. You don't have to read the book like it's a script. I think that's always a mistake to do those things. Um, yeah, so I'm glad that's what they did in '89, and I feel like if this one, so our first Dune, was in 2017 something. I thought that was a very good movie. but I thought there was no action. So I think you lose people when there's no action. This past movie, when you have the action, you have the great storylines, you have great actors. I think that's essential to really carrying that movie. So, which Marvel can make movies like that? I don't think you find stories. This is the original story. Like, before Star Wars and all that other stuff, this was the original space opera. I hope people really understand that. This came out before, like the story of Dune, the books came out before Star Wars. George Lucas straight up stole stuff from Dune. Just stole it. No excuse. And they're still stealing it. The Night Sisters? Come on. You watch it, you like, man, that's straight out of it. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Brandon said, you know how I felt about Dune too. I know what you said. Tank thinks, this is great. I think it's good. It's very good. But there's a lot to talk about. Says Zendaya, Javier Bardem. Yes, Javier does a great job. Rebecca Ferguson. Yeah, we still got Timothy Chalamet. I mean, you got a lot, just the star power, and young people too. Florence Pugh. What's his name? The Skarsgård. Who else was in that? The kid from Austin Butler. Austin Butler does the damn thing in this damn movie. He really does. You got Josh Brolin in here. I mean, you just keep on going over on and on and on and on. That's when we have those type of actors. I mean, it's just come on. I mean, Christopher Walken, not even sound like Christopher Walken. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. And again, that Skarsgård creepy all the way, all of them creepy. But he wasn't just creepy; he was also he was villainous. I think that's what was great about it. He was villainous too. He was able to do it. Stellan Skarsgård was one. You knew he was the story with him. So I'm sure we're gonna get into those things a little bit more as we get to the actual review. But yeah, no, it was good. So 2 wasn't as good as 1. I feel like because I know your taste now. I think you are very much into a story. But I know a lot of people that are very much into the action too. If you don't get action, I know it's hard to hold people's attention. You know, and I think that's what happened with 1. 2 had enough action and a great story. So that's why I think that, I think 2 is better than 1. Even though I loved 1. I loved it. I said it before. This is a great thing. So.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say number 1's a half of a story, but technically number 2 is a half a story. But the
They're all
first half
third
of
of
a
a story.
story what was that?
It's a third of a story.
No, because Dune Part 1 and Part 2 is one book.
Yeah, that's true. It's one book.
Both of these
So
movies
not
is just the first book.
But it's
Messiah
still
will be
just
the second book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Messiah would end. I don't want to get there. I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't tell anyone about what's going on. Yeah.
But usually the first part of the book is the world building, and then the second part is the action climax and all that stuff.
Brandon said the Elvis dude was dope too, but it still let me down. I don't know, man. Austin Butler did. I don't know if I was a huge Austin Butler fan beforehand, but I walked out of the movie theater as a huge Austin Butler fan. Like, yeah, you could be anything for me now. You could be a villain. You could be a hero. Yes, what you did there was great.
Yeah, I think Erica brought it up that he has this very menacing look, and she said he looks like a viper ready to attack. And I'm like, it really did. Like, he just had this like crazy eyes, man, the whole time.
At any point in time, he could have done whatever, and wouldn't have shocked me.
Yeah. And I was really worried. Just compare it to Sting, from the '84 version, because Sting was awesome in it. I would give him that. But I
There's
was
also
like,
the
oh,
star
that's gonna be
power behind him.
yeah,
Star
yeah. He
power
was the
behind
big name, you know.
it.
But I was kind of worried. I'm like, oh, what are they gonna do? And they knocked it out of the water with that.
Yeah. I mean, even the stuff when he was killing and gave it to his girls, like, all right, here you go. I'll kill you. And like, dude, he was just menacing. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, I loved it. Hey, Brian and Tank, how's it going? What's up, Jason?
What's up?
For me, 2 is way better than 1. Okay, I can understand that too. I will watch part 1 any day. I feel like, okay, so what we're talking about is like Endgame. You know,
Mm.
is Endgame better? You know, or what's the first ones?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Which one's the better movie?
Yeah.
A lot of people say Infinity War is a better movie, but the Endgame has the ending, you know, and the climax and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Infinity War gives you the bad guy winning, but you know that's not the end of the story. So I think like it's the same type of thing. Do you like part 1 or part 2 more?
Yeah. Hey, or like, well, even with Kill Bill 1 and 2, Kill Bill 1 was still like a lot of action and a lot of everything. So
It
yeah,
was.
yeah, that's not a good one to compare to.
And
Because a lot
also,
you get more world building in the second one than you do in the first one with Kill Bill. So
because you didn't know
yeah,
what the hell was going on first.
yeah, yeah. But that's that. He what's his name always does weird things that's not a normal kind of take. Like, oh, I'm gonna explain everything in the second movie. It was like, what? Luckily, the first one was amazing, so no one gave a shit. Which my favorite character, hands down, Javier Bardem. Yeah, that's Stilgard.
Yeah,
He was
Stilgar.
he was so good in it.
Stilgar was. I mean, he was the most important thing because without him, you know, Paul would never learn how to do anything. No one would accept Paul. Like Stilgar is the only reason why any of this stuff happened.
Yeah, yeah. Like he was like being funny, but not being funny. You know, like it was just like his. It was just him, you know, like because there was the whole part was like, oh, you have to do this, and she's like, what if I don't want to do it? He goes, well, then you have no need, and you know, you know. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, and he's like, well, that you know, that made my decision. Yeah, so big brand man in. What's up, Brandon?
What up?
What's up, dude? It is freaking freezing out here in Vegas.
And it's
That's
72
It's so
degrees in
cold.
Chicago.
Yeah. Well, didn't
Yeah,
California get some like snow? So there's like a cold front over there, right?
yeah,
On
it's
the West Coast.
insane.
That's funny. You leave Chicago, go to Vegas, and it's colder.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Wow. Wow.
Did I miss
Um,
anything good?
Nah, we just watched a trailer, but we're about to probably get into the Dune stuff right now.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which trailer did I miss out on?
The Watchers.
The Watchers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Night
Oh.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Oh, so in other words, I missed nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, man. I
We
mean, yeah.
we know the Watchers are John Cena, and you know.
You can't see me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Brandon.
good, man. What's up, B? That's great.
Hey, Brandon. Hey, Jason.
I'm a bear.
Yeah. Did you see my main complaint? Not yet. I might have missed it in the comments. But save it because we're gonna get into like all like full discussion. I'm kind of marking some of these comments as I'm going. Just Zach and I went. I did see that Zach and you. So Zach attacks and Brandon went back and forth. It was he put something up. Brandon made a post on Facebook, and then I'm looking. I'm like 50 comments. I was like, God damn! And it was just all Brandon and Zach. But it was just a back and forth,
back and forth. I was like, all right.
So I didn't read it all. I was like, holy, that's a lot. But that was kind of funny. All right, but so we're gonna do our review on it, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the box office, and then we're gonna get in like full spoilers, full discussion with the chat, and you know, kind of break things down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We'll follow your lead on this one because we're gonna try to do it a little bit differently. We're not. guys, we're not going to ignore any of your comments. We're going to bring them
No.
all in at the same time. So
Yeah.
like we can have it cut up the right way. So we're gonna try to get it all done.
Yep.
Anzo, what's up?
I know he's here. I know Anzo's here for the Halo stuff. Which, bro, you weren't lying, man. This episode, holy shit!
Yeah, I was like,
Oh
dude,
my god,
dude,
oh my god,
Bandit?
the way it ends it.
Oh, and then my Riz. Oh my dude,
Brandon, you are missing out, man. Season 2 is so much better. It is leaps and bounds. Like, what were they thinking in season 1? Because season 2 was just it's so much heart and so much care about the characters. It's just so much better.
I have no idea.
Is it the greatest show ever? No, but
from week to week, I have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's really freaking good, man. 5 episodes in, it is. Yeah, I'm sold on it right now, which is crazy because I was done season 1. I'm like, I don't want this again. Just cancel it. Be over.
And they have not had suits on the entire time, and yet it's great.
It is great.
I know you don't believe me. Just start watching it. Like, you have to get through the first episode, and once you get through the first, you'll be like, "What the hell?" You can watch the second.
No,
one.
I believe you because I don't think you ever steered me wrong. I just it's a mental hump I have to get over.
It's hard to get through it.
It's the same for me, man. Like, I went through the first half of the first episode. I went halfway through. I had to turn it off because I was busy, and I was like, I don't know what they're doing. But by the end of the first episode, I was just like, boom, boom, boom. Episode 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna get into the Halo a little bit towards the end. Because you're an hour ahead or behind? You're an hour behind us, right?
Behind. So it's 9:20 for him.
It's like 9. Right?
It's actually it's 8:20 right now. 8:22.
Oh wow, you're
all right. All right. Yeah. I'm telling you, Xbox is going to bring Halo back with the show. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Oh, said me too. I wasn't gonna watch it. Glad I did though. Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. So I know we didn't talk about it last week. I didn't get a chance to finish watching the last episode. But I did. I'm all caught up, so we're gonna talk about that a little later. But we're gonna get into the thing that everyone's talking about. Dune. Actually, I made an overlay real quick. Let me upload it.
Open up a new window. We're in trouble.
I know. Blow up my internet. Like, what are you doing? Where the hell did I save it at? Wait.
So
let's see.
I have something I want to say. I think I know what it is. I'm saying I'm giving it half a star less than everybody else. I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. And I want to bring it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. All right.
I'll see if you actually start booing me.
There we go. Get boos. Jesus. I mean, it takes it from like a 5-star to a 4.5 star. It can't be that bad of a take, right? Yeah. So
I think it's fine, but
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this. So we're gonna do our review real quick, and then we'll bring in chat towards the end and stuff like that. But let me start it, and we'll get going. Sorry. Old school.
It's a new guy.
All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer. I am with Brian the Grizzly, Brandman Brandon, and if you can't tell, we're going to talk about Dune Part 2. We're going to give our thoughts, our likes, our dislikes, and our ratings. Yeah. So, Brian, do you have a synopsis?
Oh, I do. Always. I was always ready.
All right, you're all ready to go. All right, give us a quick breakdown what this one's about.
Paul Atreides unites with Shari, and the Freeman while seeking revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the universe, he must prevent a terrible future only he can foresee. And this is Mama's fault.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
But cool, yeah. So this is the second half, obviously, to Dune Part 1. So yeah, so we're just gonna keep it to this part and not really too much of the second or first part. So Brandman, what did you like about this one?
First and foremost, holy crap. I'm not sure there's anything about this movie that I didn't like. I thought everything about this really, really worked. And as someone who absolutely loved Dune Part 1 from a couple years ago, I think it took everything about that movie that I really liked and just amped it up. I think everything about this just, was like epic in every sense of the word. All the actors brought their A game. I thought Denis Villeneuve directed the crap out of this. Just from a standpoint of cinematography. Hans Zimmer, who I think had been kind of all over the place with his quality of music. I think ever since Inception, he just stopped doing it for me as much. And then he really turned it around this time. I thought, I felt really invested in the characters. It really sold me on Austin Butler as an actor even more.
Yeah.
I always, ever since he came on the scene, he kind of reminded me of like a James Dean type, and he was really playing against type this time in that role. Like he brought the creepy, man. Everything about it, I'd watch more Dune. I'd watch more, or even if they decided not to move forward from here, I'd be completely satisfied. But it left me wanting more. But it left me content. I just, I was sitting like this the entire time, like just glued to the screen. And I want to say to anyone who hasn't seen it, watch this on the biggest screen possible. That's the only way. I actually plan on going again the night that I get back in town. So yeah. It, like I said, it reminded me why I love cinema.
Yeah.
I think Denis Villeneuve is just killing it as a director. Like he's like with this, if he already wasn't solidified in like my top 5 directors, he definitely is now.
Okay.
Yeah, that is good. Okay, what about you, Brian? What you thought about it?
So I like the movie a lot. I think the movie was great. I think the actors were great. I think the actresses were great. I think the story was great. I thought it was done well. I like the pacing, except for a couple of parts were a little bit weird. The way it was kind of done. I didn't like with Paul and his power when as he learned how to do stuff, and it was like fast forwarded and just didn't really understand the sense of timing for that. So I did have a problem with that. I think the movie was just really beautiful. I mean, cinematography was just off the chain. Just beautiful. How do you make all that sand and nothingness be another character within the movie? It is really just well done. I really do that. Do think that. But when everyone says that it's masterpiece, I think I disagree. And as I said before, we did like a short review on the movie on Thursday, and I kind of said I feel like there's something missing. There's something that was not exactly what I needed to be. And that's not saying that this movie is not. Once again, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'm not trying to say this is not a great movie. And probably will be the best movie I see this year. But when you're talking about all time greats, there's something about it that I did not like. I know what it is now, and I can't wait to talk about it. But this is just a general, introduction to it. So I'll leave that for a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious now for it. So if you're watching on the replay, you definitely got to start watching this live because I know we're going to get into that conversation a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, the dislikes are, I don't know. I don't have any really. Like,
Mhm.
like, but just this was a not, I can't say it's a perfect movie, but it's as near as a perfect as a movie for me as I can get. Um, because like the acting was absolutely insane. You had
Mhm.
some of the like these big shot younger guys that are going to be on the scene for the next 30 years. Meanwhile, you still have like the guys from like old school, Christopher Walken,
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson, Josh
Christopher, yeah.
Brolin, like Javier
Skarsgård.
Bardem. Yes, yeah, Scars, like those guys have been doing it their whole life, so it's like, so seeing these like two like cool, like super old veterans and like the new generation, with some of the bigger stars from the new generation coming together and just making this great story of with everything. And then like Brandon said, Denis Villeneuve like absolutely crushed it with because he changed things from the book, and I thought the changes were better.
Yeah.
I thought they were way better. They played better with the overall story, and he
Yeah,
skipped
like
a few things, he
Paul with
avoided a few
Baron.
things. Yeah,
Yeah,
Paul with the
Paul with Baron
Baron,
is so
one
much
thing,
better.
the sister thing, very different in this than it is in the book. But loved it all. But the whole time, just everything about it was the political intrigue and everything coming at us was just so
Mhm.
nonstop and in such a good way. And the whole time you're like, I am I on the side of believing, in Paul, or am I on the side of him? Is he like using people? It's like, and it all depends on how you stand as a person. How do you see Paul? Is he the savior or is he a user? Is he a quote unquote colonizer? What some people are calling him. But yeah, so it
Oh,
is. It is kind of. Was that?
he's definitely a colonizer.
I mean, that's what I think. Even from the book, I always got that. But there's still like a lot of people are like, oh, he's the dude. He's the savior. But yeah,
Mhm.
But one shout out to Zendaya. This is the absolute best thing I ever seen Zendaya in. She
I agree.
was amazing in this. She was
I
amazing in
agree.
this. Between her and Timothy Chalamet together on screen, her in a little bit with the other
I feel like
characters.
even then with them together,
Yeah,
she is so dynamic. It's almost like she's carrying the scene, even though
yeah,
Timothy Chalamet is not bad. She's
yeah,
just like
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
she's so
yeah,
into it. Like you notice her more than you see him, and
yeah.
just
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
because
strong.
I think she's the opposite of him, and she knew it, and she played it so well, and she was amazing. She was amazing in this one, and I'm calling it now. I know it's like we're talking about last year's movies for Oscars is coming up in a week. She is going to be up for best,
Oh,
probably
she
probably
should.
supporting. I would assume
I don't
Best
know if it's
actress,
supporting or
because she was
not.
a lead.
she
She's
a
a lead,
lead.
yeah, because I
She's a
think
co-lead,
she's
right?
the best. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, she should definitely be up for best actress, for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
That's why I was like supporting, but no, yeah, she is a co-lead. Yeah, because that was amazing. She was amazing in this. But yeah, but cool. And like I said, I don't got anything too bad. But we're gonna get into some like details and stuff later, so stick around if you're watching live. But we're gonna finish things up with our ratings, which we do a now, later, never. Now means you gotta go watch it right now. It's worth every penny. Later means you can wait till it's at home streaming, and never means just skip it. It sucks. So I'm pretty sure I know what all you guys are gonna say. But Brandon, what are you giving it?
Oh, easily. This is a now.
Yeah,
This is like a now on steroids.
yeah,
Um, in experience, I think it's the only way. You got to see this in the theater, man. You got to see it on a huge screen.
yeah,
Don't settle for anything less than IMAX with
yeah.
this. Um, it's the only way.
Yeah.
You
Real
know.
quick though, this
Th-
is a 70 millimeter movie IMAX, like Oppenheimer is.
mhm,
From what I understand, like certain parts, there's only like 30 of those theaters. Certain parts, especially in California, there's like a waiting list at this point to see it on
mhm,
that style of IMAX because people
mhm.
want to see it like how you said. So yeah, so if you can see it in 70 millimeter, by all means. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a trip to Indianapolis just to go see it on the 7mm.
Hey, you know, I'll go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go see this in the theater at this point at least 2 more times.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sorry, man.
Like, oh no, you're fine. You're fine. And I realized I was probably mispronouncing the gentleman's name like I do a lot of things. Didn't he? Is it Villeneuve?
I think Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he just brought his A game, and I don't think there's anything better than when you can really feel a director's passion, and he's really putting his foot in it to deliver like the best movie that he can make. And I think that's why I really like him, you know. So I think this is, you know, even with the stuff that he makes in the future, like, it's going to be interesting to see if he outdoes himself. But he has my full attention. I think he absolutely crushed this. I really really enjoyed this. It was like the most enjoyable theatrical experience I've had in a very very long time. You know, I can't sing enough of its praises.
Yeah.
And if he does do Dune Messiah, I'm curious to see if he outdoes himself. You know,
I don't know if he can, because Messiah's not as good as the Dune.
Yeah, exactly. So he'd really have to like bust his ass to, you know, but I have no doubt in my mind after these first two that it would be great too. But yeah, this is easily a now and then some. Tell like spread the word.
Yeah.
Bring everyone you know to. You know, my mind was blown. Yeah, this was incredible. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Okay. What are we, Brian?
It's a yesterday.
Yeah.
You don't understand what I'm saying. You should have already saw it. And if you haven't seen it yet, go see it and then go see it again. You should see it multiple times. This is a multiple watch. I've already seen it 3 times. Because I really had to figure out what it was that I was feeling, and I figured that out. But this is a great movie. This is a cinematic master. It's not a masterpiece. It's master work. You know if that's different. If that's a difference, if anyone can understand it, master work better than masterpiece. Like, it's the best you could have done. Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong directing, producing, or anything like that. There's things that I feel like didn't flow exactly the right way. But it's a master work. It's what, if you're teaching a class, this is how you make a space opera. This is how you tell a story and build a world the correct way. This is what they did, and I think that's where we really get out of this whole movie. And then even having the idea that we call them the planet Dune now, right at the end, I thought that was just perfect the way they did it. So it's yesterday for me, not now. Yesterday.
Yeah. No surprise, it's a now for me as well. I've watched it 3 times now.
That's awesome.
You know, it's just I can't get enough of it, you know. Like, it's so freaking amazing, you know. Agree with everything Brandon said about watching on the biggest possible screen. It's a cinematic like marvel on how they were able to make this look the way it did, be the way it did, have all these amazing actors, and the budget was under 200 million. You know, like,
can you believe that?
Is crazy, you know.
No, it's a lot of sand.
There's a lot of sand. Think a lot of it.
Man,
you know,
a lot of sand. You go to the middle of Sahara and just deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much, you know, like this, you know, I know we're gonna get into a conversation. So if you're watching on replay, we're gonna get into our conversation. Nice. Man, that's worth some big money now. That thing's selling for like $60-$70 on Amazon, eBay. Yeah. But
I'm
we're
afraid
gonna get
into
like what is a masterpiece, but I can't call a movie that's been out for 5 days a masterpiece. Like, I just can't. You know, it might be later on in a couple of years after I watch it a bazillion times. But you know, that's a whole nother conversation of that. But like, a masterwork, I think, is a perfect wording for it. It is really It's a marvel. It is a cinematic marvel, I think, because it got me excited. It just got me excited to go see awesome movies again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. That's our thoughts with it. We stayed mostly spoiler free because we were going to get into conversation with chat, and we're going to talk about all the spoilers and all the little details and stuff like that. So again, if you're watching on replay, definitely click that like button, click that subscribe button, and come and join us live, so you don't have to wait for all the video and clips of the show. We appreciate you guys coming in and checking our review out on Dune Part 2. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Where would you rate it? A now, later, never. But we appreciate everyone hanging out with us live. Stick around because we got to move on to our next part of the conversation.
And I can tell you what I didn't like. But what was it? All right, let me just start with this. I want to tell you guys exactly what it is for me. So
yeah, because I'm kind of curious. I'm really curious.
And it's a two-parter. One, I should think the actors around Timothée Chalamet were too good. If that makes any sense. You understand? Like in every scene, he's supposed to be the focal point, right? And I feel like in every scene, he gets outacted by somebody else. Not that it's his fault. It's just that they were just so overwhelmingly so good. Every scene that he was with Zendaya, she outdid him. Austin Butler stole every scene he's in. Javier Bardem is probably the most important thing like in the entire movie, and his parts are great. You can talk about Christopher Walken because he's Christopher Walken. You can talk about Skarsgård because it's Skarsgård. I mean, I feel like everyone around him was so great of actors that it almost seemed like he needed to step his game up more. And I don't know if he could. And he doesn't have that in him yet. So I feel like he's just not strong enough to carry that because. And I'm saying it's still 4.5 movies.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he's not did a terrible job.
It's a nitpick, and not like
it's really much a nitpick. But I feel like everyone around him stole those scenes. Every single scene that he was in, someone else stole it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Unless he was riding a giant worm.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say though, this is probably like as much as I love Zendaya in this because I think she was like one of the best things in this movie. For me, Chalamet was probably the number 2 because this is probably the best I've ever seen him in anything yet. Like,
yeah,
I don't think he's been in anything that was this good. That he had to be this good of an actor.
But was it him? Because I still say Austin Butler was better than him.
No,
I think Austin Butler was better.
He's like
he was that scene. Every scene he did, he was killing the people and was bleeding them out, and even with the women that he was throwing the bodies to, I feel like Austin Butler stole scenes more. But part of that is character. Some parts that's character driven, and part of that is just what happened in the movie. They weren't together a lot, but even when they were fighting, I think Zendaya and Florence Pugh, their looks were more scene stealing than what was going on with them. It was crazy. And I feel like I'm not saying he did a bad job because I don't want anyone to say because he's not. I think he's amazing. He did an amazing job, but I feel like if you took him out and put someone else in, it didn't really change the movie for me.
That's
if you take Zendaya out of this movie, it changes the entire freaking movie.
Yeah. I don't know because like just say because Zendaya, you put Tom Holland in. I don't know if it would be as good because I don't know.
Yeah,
if Tom Holland is as good.
Well, I think their where's one like their chemistry will be off the charts. I think their chemistry is amazing together. So I think Tom Holland would be unfair to put in Timothy's place. But I feel like when you're talking about a movie, when we're saying all-time great, your lead character has to be the best person in the movie. And I don't believe he was the best person in the movie.
That's an interesting take. I kind of looked at it, and as someone who really liked Timothy who really likes Timothy Chalamet as an actor. I think he's great, and I can't really picture anyone else playing Paul Atreides at this point. I definitely see what you're saying with a lot of the other actors outshining him, but I kind of looked at it the same way. I almost kind of the same way I looked at The Dark Knight, in the sense that in that movie, I always felt like Batman or Bruce Wayne was kind of like the least interesting part of the movie, and we all know how great an actor Christian Bale is, but that movie was all about Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, and even I was kind of more invested in the story of Harvey Dent, and that sort of thing. So I kind of looked at it similarly in that regard. But Timothy Chalamet, I thought he really stepped his game up from the first one. He was kind of allowed to kind of flex his acting muscles a little more, and even with I really like him as an actor. Like I liked him as in this. Like I really enjoyed him in Wonka. Really, I've liked him in everything that I've seen him in. So yeah, I thought he did exactly what he was asked, and I really liked his performance more this time as Paul. I thought they gave him a little bit more to do this time, but I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, and once again, it's not that he did a bad job. It's not that he did, but is he? When you're talking about masterpiece, your lead character has to lead. And I don't know if he is the best character in the movie.
Well, I mean, he's the best character in the movie. I don't know if it was acted better, because I think Chani acted better, like Zendaya acted better, but also she's a co-lead, so you would need both of them. And for me, they're 1 and 2. For me, it was Zendaya and Timothy were 1 and 2, which makes sense because they were co-leads.
So if I was ranking them, I would do Zendaya, somewhere. I think Austin Butler and Rebecca Ferguson's probably up there for me too. So when I go to 3 people before I get to Timothy, and not that he did bad, because he did great. He understood what was going on. He understood the character. He really did. But when those 3 people are better at, and carrying the movie, and those are supporting actors and actresses, I think that's what it is. And I'm really being nitpicky. I know it. I'm not saying, I'm trying to reiterate. I'm not saying he did a bad job. I'm just saying he might be the 4th best actor in the movie. That he's a star.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not I don't think it's a bad take. So if anybody says it's a bad take, no. I mean, but it is the thing. Is like you have amazing actors, new and old, like surrounded by him. So it's not the most uncommon thing to like think he would get lost in the sauce between all these like cool people. Yeah.
And I think it's hard to pinpoint like who's the best actor when you're talking about an ensemble.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like I could tell the best actress was definitely Zendaya.
Yeah,
I feel like there's no question. I cannot replace her with another person and feel like this movie would be anything like it.
Yeah. She's got a certain I think like just her natural look of just how she is, just has this like she knows how to be like a badass, like when it's time to be a badass, like even go to the Spider-Man, like when it's time for her to be nerdy, she knows how to be nerdy. So she like as an actress is just amazing, and she understands what she needs to be and how to do it, and she completely knocked it out of the water with this one. I want to see her and Denis Villeneuve like do more together. Like I'm like push her to the max, like do some more cool shit together.
Which was refreshing to see, because like I said, I was on the cusp of really getting sick of her or fatigued by her. Before this, she wasn't really doing a whole lot for me. I thought she was fine in the Spider-Man movies. I've never watched an episode of Euphoria, nor do I really have any desire to.
We're too old.
Yeah, I think it's outside. Malcolm and Marie, I think is another one. She did an amazing job. Like it's a very good movie. It's a very good movie. So I think she does a good job on a lot of stuff. but she's been around it. I think me and Tank talked about this yesterday. She started off in plays, and she did all those things. Like, she started off at 6, so by the time she got to Disney Channel at 14, she's already been active for 8 years. And doing it in a play night after night after night is a much harder job than doing it on a screen. And so if you started there, it's easier to get to where you need to get to. I think she just has her acting chops already there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, cool. So we're gonna get into the chat and all your guys' comments, because I know you guys are leaving a bunch of comments. Here, let me hit this real quick. But we're gonna get into the box office stuff real quick, and then talk about all the spoilers. All right. So we got the numbers for Dune Part 2 that came out. Holy crap, man. As of today, which is Monday, the 4th, it is 82.5 domestic, 100 million international in one weekend, and which gives you a total worldwide of 182.5.
And that's not included tonight.
I don't think that's no, I think that includes the first, second, and third.
Yep.
So only the weekend. That's only the weekend. So damn. Yeah, that's not including Monday. So and we get our numbers from Box Office Mojo, obviously. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting if it hits $1 billion. It's definitely gonna make what the first one made, what's 400, without question. Without question.
I say it'll make it by the end of the month.
yeah, I know that's what you're saying, which worldwide it's already halfway there to it. If it's gonna hit 800 without a problem, and then we're gonna see where it starts getting, like how close is gonna get to that bill. But
it's gonna be very much like Oppenheimer, how it's a slow build to get to that billion. And Oppenheimer never get it. It stopped at 965. So it's gonna be that 900 million, and then trying to get to that billion is gonna be tough, but it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and see it. But but that's what makes movies hit $1 billion, is when people go see it multiple times. That's just kind of the way it is. So but cool. Yeah, that's the box office. So let's get into your guys' comments. Let's see where I should have marked where we left off at.
Some really good comments.
Yeah. So I know Brandon Davis got a lot to say about it. so we're gonna get into a lot of like his stuff that he has, and then we're gonna get into another conversation about just masterpieces in general, not just this. But Brandon said the fight scene at the end when there was music and it was just him and Elvis grunting was amazing.
Wait, there was no music.
It was I don't think, was there music? If it was, it had to have been like something low.
It wasn't music. It was
like a sound.
Yeah,
possibly.
Like the fighting, and you could hear the back and forth, and it's like a score still. It wasn't music necessarily.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like when you get so. At this point of the movie, at the end, I'm like Brandon. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat. My girlfriend said her heart was like literally racing, where she was like she's like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" And it's just like, yeah. This is the part where you're like, "Holy shit, what's gonna happen?" Part 1 starts with Chani, and part 2 ends with her.
Too.
Yeah. Also, side note.
Wait till part 3.
Oh, yeah, my god. Well, see, I don't know how they're gonna do it though, because they can't do the book, because the way this ends is very different than how the book ends. So
the whole thing with Paul and Baron, the way that happened, now his sister not being born, it's another thing. I mean, there's a lot of little things that happen in the book that definitely didn't,
but this is not little. This is a major character shift, because at the end, well, spoilers, I don't know if anybody's gonna read the book. Also, it's been out since 1965, so if you haven't read the book, you're probably not gonna read the book. But at the end of the book, even in the 1984 version, like Paul tells Chani the plan. This is the plan. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take her as my bride, but you're gonna be my wife. You're gonna be the only woman I sleep with and love. Like I'm not gonna have kids with her. I'm not gonna have sex with her.
This will be for political gain only.
Exactly. And Chani was like, "Cool, let's do it. I'm on board." Here they change it. Paul doesn't tell her. So when he's like, "Hey, I love you," and then Ghost says like, "You be my wife," though. She's like,
Yeah.
"What?" Like, I'm a stab a bitch. That was the part of Zendaya was like awesome. And so that's why it's like it ends very differently because Chani's not on the same page.
Yeah, and she goes off and she said she didn't like him doing this stuff for her people from the beginning. She said that, as much as I love you, this plan does not belong to you.
Yeah.
So
don't become a colonizer. Don't become a person that just uses us.
Exactly.
So they changed her so much, and I don't know what's going to happen with Denis Villeneuve's version of Messiah, because I think he's obviously got to change it.
Well, it's already written now. I just read it now. It's done.
Yeah. So I'm kind of really curious, because at first I remember I'm like, I don't think people are gonna like Dune Messiah, but after this ended, I'm like, okay, you're doing enough differently where you can change Messiah enough where it could be cool.
Dude, I think Chani kills him.
I don't know.
I think Chani kills him.
That could be interesting. I think Chani's gonna be his biggest resistant fighter. I think you're gonna get something like that. You're gonna be like, I don't know.
And he can't do anything against her because he's still in love with her. But and she's a woman scorned, and she's gonna be doing whatever.
Yeah. It's very different, like what they're gonna do with it with Dune 3, Dune Messiah, whatever you want to call it. I'm way more excited about it now than I was before I saw this movie. Because of the changes. Said the part in the beginning when the Harks flew up the mountain in line, great visual. That was really cool. That was really cool. I still give this film a later, and I hate to say it, I love part 1 and I love the visuals. That's crazy. A later for this film.
I don't know. I can't give it a later.
You're not giving enough of a reason for a later.
Well, I think he makes
he has his take in it. I respect his take, because I've learned now that he knows why he's saying what he's saying. I just don't necessarily agree with everything. But I mean, I always said I had problems with it. I had problems with Paul's when he's learning how to do stuff. I felt like it was rushed a little bit for a 3-hour movie. For any part of the movie to be rushed, it's kind of weird. Like all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, now I know how to do everything." Bro, you didn't practice. You haven't done nothing. How? We know it was all within 9 months. His mom was still pregnant. But he had to learn how to still do this stuff. Like Paul has had to learn how to do a lot of stuff. Like he had to show him how to do ride the worm.
Oh well, that stuff like that.
But
also it's like he has the power. That's the thing. So too was like he has the power of clairvoyancy and like where you can force people to do shit.
He has to push.
He has
to push too.
The Jedi mind trick again. Another thing that's told.
But that has nothing to do with being able to do some of the things that he was doing.
Yeah,
and it was fast forward because he was like, "How did you do that?" And then next scene, let me ride this worm. I was like, "Oh, really? Y'all not gonna show me any progression at all? Like nothing?"
Well, there's like the time skips. I didn't mind that as much because also he was a rich guy from a rich family who he learned all these skills of survival, fighting, and this and that. So
I don't know what skill you can learn how to ride a worm in 2 days. Like I don't know
snowboarding, surfing. He lived on a plane with a bunch of water. Go surfing. He learned how to ride the wave.
In him, like he rode. He's Aquaman. He rode dolphins. Like look at how this worked out.
I mean, confidence. All right.
The Force.
Exactly. Unofficial new tears. Why haven't you seen it? There you go. Now, later, never, salt and burn it. That's add the extra 2. Brandon said Paul's arc towards the end when he becomes confident to lead his character change was wow.
I agree.
Yeah, when he drank the blue juice, was it the water of life or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's when
men aren't allowed to have.
Yeah, they can't. Well, they'll die, which
They
is kind
die.
of crazy. Yeah. But also he's the first male Benny Jesuit that drank the water, so he
Mhm.
had the power to control it.
And he was dying.
He was dying, but so was Rebecca
Chani,
Ferguson.
Yeah, but
when she drank it.
Chani still one that saved him. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
that's huge. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be a huge thing that comes back to it's possible that they go to a route of he could be the one if all things fall into place. Kind of like the Matrix did with the Neo idea. If all these things fall in place, he could be the one, but he's not the one because he doesn't take Chani with him, because without her, he's not what he could be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But when he drinks it, it's a big character change for Paul, which was cool to see on screen. But for me, when he drank it, Timothy Chalamet stepped his acting up a different level, because the whole time I think he was kind of like, I thought he played that really well. Where he's like, I don't really want it. Keep telling his mom, I don't want it. And he was very he goes, I don't want to go down this route, because he had the small visions. He drank the juice, and as a character, and I think as an actor, he just, his confidence level went up, and he just understood what he wanted. And that's kind of like the thing is like, did he want it, or was he the Messiah? That was kind of like that whole argument.
Took the pimp juice and it was good. Okay.
The pimp juice. Yeah. So give it
all the girls are mine. I love you. I'm taking her too.
Did that cup did that cup come with extra butter, Brian?
And not
it's all buttered
Colonel
up.
Popcorn ever touched this bucket.
Oh man. Brand said, I even liked how they drew off the 1984 version when they asked him how the still suit about the still suit, when she said, you have worn this before. He was like, no, it just seemed the right way. Yeah, kind of the same thing. It's like, but he also has these visions. So if you have a dream of being in something, if you have a dream of driving and it's so clear and vivid and almost real, like, do you know, like, does it feel right when you get behind the seat of the car? I don't know, but I mean, that's the whole thing with his powers. The glasses for Brandon. I have a massive flaw. He said the story was bad. So that's what Brandon Davis has with his problem with the film. The story. So the story was bad to me. That's why I give it a later. So I'm gonna go through and see if you say why, but why was the story bad? I don't get what was bad about the story. That's a better question. What was bad about the story?
Dune itself. I mean, if you want to go, we saw what happened when we went shot for shot for Dune. Try from the book. 1984 was an awful movie. It was an awful movie.
Yeah.
So, and you can't go shot for shot for something that's that dense in context and content. Yeah. I think the density really changes things. So I don't think it's a bad story, because it's such a good story that every other story that's ever came out is taken from this story. Like,
copying it.
Do you like Star Wars? If you like anything that's been done in space, it's come from here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, as much as I love Dune, Star Wars took all the Dune stuff and made it better. Like, for me, at least.
No, because they stayed away from the Messiah idea and just said, I'm just the champion. Yeah, because I don't think Luke was ever
Anakin?
The Messiah.
What's Anakin?
He was the Antichrist,
the chosen one. He's the chosen
he's
one.
The Antichrist. The opposite.
But I mean, he was the Messiah, and then you find out, like, oh, what's going on? I don't want to give any spoilers away, but
dude, Paul's, it came out in 1970. If you haven't watched Star Wars by now,
well, no, I was talking about like Paul with his character arc, in Messiah and stuff. That's why I mean, I don't know. but even the I was on Zach's channel. We were talking about it because you were talking about Baron. Baron was legit, Vader. They're like, hey, let's make him less fat and gross. and they still did the same thing with like Luke, I'm your father. Like, oh hey, the dude's your grandfather. So like they had the family twist kind of thing.
I'm your grandfather.
So, but he goes, Cleves, what's up, Cleves? He goes, I understand what you mean, but he did understand the assignment.
Let's talk about
Timothy.
Yeah.
Someone cooks this for me. Damn. I don't know what you're talking about. I also would have seen how they get off the worm. Am I the only one wondering how they get off the worm?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
All right, now everyone jump. Ah!
Yeah, basically. That's a good question because there's a part where Jessica's she's in like a hut on the worm. So it's like, does she have to do the work too? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just figured you'd jump and tuck and roll.
It's like an escalator. It goes underground. And you just kind of like walk off right onto the sand. Yeah, that is funny though. Elvis was dope. Yeah, Austin Butler was cool.
Yeah.
Austin is the best part for me. That's what Xavier said.
He was good. He was good. He was great.
Yeah, he was super great.
He was great. I think he's
assignment.
Yeah. He's like synonymous with Elvis and whatever that biker movie he has coming out soon. But I have a very specific kind of vision of him in my mind. Like I said, he kind of reminds me of James Dean, especially if you've seen interviews with him and that sort of thing. So he really earned a lot of my respect in this role. Not to say I disliked the guy at all. I just thought he's just very synonymous with like the cool dude roles. And he was amazing in this.
Yeah. He even had that different voice. I feel like that very like
almost vampire-ish, like the scream. It was
but even when he was talking, like, what are you talking about? Like it was, I don't know, like I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of like it was interesting. It was like, and it made sense for the character and for the family, really. So, Skarsgård in part 1 was the best thing in that. When he started to float, I had no idea what was about to happen. Yeah, he's a badass man. He's like a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a Skarsgård. They all float down.
Exactly, they float. That's natural.
They all float down here. I didn't care for the story, and it threw the entire movie off for me. Man, okay. I saw your thing. I'm gonna try to skip around a little bit so we can get to some
I can go back to that one thing.
Which one?
So I think I could see people being upset about a white messiah type of thing. I could definitely understand why people are turned off.
White savior.
Yeah, why am I white dealing with that white savior always coming? You can come and show me how to do this stuff. Oh, I'm better than you because of what I've been through, even though I've lived it, my entire life. You're gonna come to my place and show me how to do what I do better than me. Totally understand that. And if that turns you off, it will turn you off from this whole entire movie, but it turns you off on a lot of movies. So I definitely understand exactly where he's coming from with that.
Yeah. If that's the problem, and that's what a lot of people are having. It's the white savior kind of idea of it all. So yeah.
So how you should come to my house, even though I've been doing this for my entire life, and you're gonna try to show me how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we got ABC. What's up, ABC Cinema? It said the best character in the movie should have been Paul's sister. In the book, she smoked a Baron and had the best kill. Yeah. Not having her born massively changes the story overall. Yeah, and that's a big change. Not having her born. And I don't even know if they're gonna do the whole preborn stuff.
That's a good point.
You heard her talking to their mother, and so they're going to have to revisit it. And I think we might even see a flashback, realizing that she was always part of this stuff.
Yeah. Because in the '84 movie and in the books, obviously, like she's born, but then she grows up really
Really
fast, you know, like so, and she kills Baron like with her fucking crazy Jedi powers, you know.
Mhm.
You know, so she with it, yeah, I believe that's what she does. So, but I liked Paul killing Baron though in this one.
It's
It
hard
felt
to
more
call him
satisfying.
Messiah. No, it's hard to call him Messiah if someone else is killing him for him. It's like then you are really not the Messiah. You're the Messiah in waiting. So I
Yeah,
think that this makes more sense.
yeah, yeah. Well, that and I think it feels more realistic too. It's like the dude killed your dad. You know what I mean? You want your sister who
Wasn't even alive.
I mean, she's not alive, but she's a preborn. So technically, she knows her dad and loves her dad because she has all the memories of her mom. You know, so she knows her dad, loves her dad, and probably loves him on multiple levels because she has all the memories that her mom had of her dad. You know, so
That's
it is kind of
smart.
interesting, but then it gets too complicated. That's when it starts getting too complicated, and you can't do a one for one like the old version did. You know, let her stay just a voice in her head, you know, kind of thing. I thought that was cool. That was just better. But yeah, you know, that's why you got to skip things and adapt it.
Mhm.
Josh Brolin and Jason Momoa killed part one.
I love Momoa. I loved him.
Yeah, yeah. Part part three is gonna be interesting. Yeah,
Do you, do you,
Yeah.
do they bring him? Do you think they bring him back?
100%. They have
Yeah,
to. It's part of the
yeah,
plot, you
yeah.
know. So yeah. Um, I mean, I guess it depends. Oh, it's all Warner Brothers, right? So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, stop doing the
You
Lobo
can
thing for a
stop
little
being
bit.
Lobo and come over here. Yeah.
Come over here for a few months.
He's gonna still have the
Um,
Lobo makeup on. He's washing it off.
you said blue. I said blue eyes, not blue face. ABC. I thought Zendaya as Timmy was pretty mid,
Yeah,
or as
Timothy. Yeah,
you
Shyamalan.
know, and Timothy were pretty mid. The best actress was Rebecca Ferguson, and they just did the usual sassy resting bitch face, and that was it. Yeah, they were
I
both
don't
good.
agree. I think what she did with their one-on-ones, I felt like they were very intimate,
Mhm,
and she carried a lot of those the intimacy of it, and I thought that was.
mhm,
And then even the him learning about everybody, learning about the group, and all. I think all that was carried by her, but intentionally because he was a noob. He had no idea. He didn't know if he was gonna die or not die. You know, at any point in time, he gonna make it through the summer. But she carried those scenes. I don't think that you know she was just mid at any point in time. I don't think anyone could have done what she did. I don't. I honestly
mhm.
don't think you could have taken her out of this movie and put someone else in it, and it been done the same way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. She was awesome. And Mama Bear said, "Haven't seen it yet, but not caring about spoilers. I'm glued to the screen. Even with spoilers, you should go see this.
Yeah.
It's visually awesome. All right, so this is
Mhm.
what I wanted to get to. Brandon Davis. So he goes, this is what the issue he had. I feel you why I feel the story is bad. He goes, I went to see this because I thought it was going to be about folding space and time without moving, not a Bible study lesson.
Then you went for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
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 That has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah. I mean, they're in it. Even in the book, they're in it. So this folding space thing is
The
the
idea
Space
was
Guild.
spice.
They're in it, but even then, the people that fold the space aren't folding space. They're just another political figure. You know what I mean? So that this whole thing is a political intrigue. And it's all about Paul. You know,
Yeah, that was always the point of Dune. So
so I get what
Mhm.
you're saying. Like I think you're expecting to see this like cool spacey kind of thing, and it's was not quite that. It's not like traveling through space, and I think me and Brian were talking about like also the spice is there, and the spice is a big player, but the spice isn't the spice itself isn't important. It's the control of the
Over the
spice,
spice.
and then
Mhm.
controlling the spice and power of it and power of the universe and stuff like that. Like even the movie starts off with that. He goes, power over the spice is power over the universe, or
Yep.
whatever it says in the beginning, something like that. Um, Yeah. So I mean, that's what it is. It's the power of spice. You know. So
Power over
it's
control. It's
control.
control is the power.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not a Bible study. It's also, I get the Bible study part because you had the group that were super what would they call them? Like religious and stuff like that. But then you had all the younger people like Zendaya and her friends who were like, I don't believe that crap. It's just it's just an excuse to enslave us, which she's not wrong either.
And Paul didn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like that's and I would like to see get to Messiah to see what their take on does Paul believe it now, or is he still playing a part because he knows the future? He's playing a part to get to the point where he needs to get to.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's people that believe he is the Messiah and he's going to save the planet and stuff like that. My personal take is he uses the people to get his revenge and to get his power and to rebuild his house. That's my thing. So he uses the Fremen. He uses the people who believe he's the Messiah. And Rebecca Ferguson does it really well, where she's like,
Exactly.
in order to protect my son, I need to have all these people to start to believe in this story. And she, oh my god, where she's kind of almost the villain in part of the movie. Where she's like manipulating the people. Yeah. So
I mean, she becomes Reverend Mother. Like, dude, you went from outsider to Reverend Mother.
Yeah, but also I believe isn't the Reverend Mother also a Benny Jesuit?
Yeah,
right. She was in there, but she was more of a insider thing. And that's a whole nother thing because you have these women who are in control. So you think the emperor, he's afraid to lose his throne, but really,
they're telling them what to do.
They're telling him like, oh, if you don't kill him, because they even in the movie, I think they said like they were good friends, and then the chick, the high Benny chick, was
Reverend Mother
yeah,
Amoyam.
Yeah,
the one
she's
that told
like,
him,
hey,
like, look,
he's gonna steal your throne. And he's like, what? He goes, kill them all. He was like, but so you have the people behind the people that are pulling the strings. So yeah, and they just use the religious stuff as a pawn, which is super interesting for me.
realistic.
Yeah, that too.
What Xavier said was important up front, up top.
Did I miss
He
it?
said at ABC, that's how I feel. My only gripe was how the sister was handled.
Oh, yeah. But again, that's a big change, from it. Also,
That's a plot. It's a plot thing. Yeah.
Zendaya is the youngest actress to win 2 Best Lead Actress Emmys. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, for Euphoria. Yeah, she's great. Said Dune is about spice. Yeah, we're too old for that stuff. I think. So he goes, Dune is about spice. Dune 2 was not about spice. It was Spartacus in space. I didn't watch this for a Sunday school lesson. I watched this to teach them to fold space without time moving. Then I think you went in it with the wrong expectations.
You went in there with the wrong mindset.
Yeah, that was never going to be what it's about.
Because even Dune 1 isn't about the spice; it's about controlling the spice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
all about controlling and
hierarchy.
And then think about it. What Paul's dad, what he really did, he was trying to work with the Fremen instead of trying to enslave them, and people didn't like that.
Yeah,
that's what really got the house done. I mean, that's why they went somewhere else. So.
Well, no, like it was the whole point was the emperor send the House of Atreides there to take over, but meanwhile the Harkonnen is gonna be like, no, this is our shit. So the emperor forced them into a fight, knowing the Harkonnen are gonna win, because now you're like, all your shit's there, and you're going in and taking over their house, their mansions and stuff. Meanwhile, so like the emperor was just putting those two as pawns, knowing who's gonna win, and allowing it, so it was never fully about the spice. The spice was just a reason to get rid of this House Atreides before they possibly take the throne.
I mean, you remember when was it the Duke Atreides, Duke Leto Atreides? He
Leto.
said he didn't want to go, but he knew he had to
because the
it
Emperor
set him
told
up.
him. Yeah. So, and I think he was partially kind of ignorant, thinking like maybe the Emperor got my back because we're buddies. You know, little do you know, it's like you don't got no buddies when it's about power. So
Exactly.
Yeah. It said Chani didn't kill him. She dies in childbirth.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying that what they're going to do with Messiah and Messiah, what they do they change the storyline again like they just did?
Yeah.
And have Chani, since she's the number one person against him, have her be the real one. Maybe kills him because he cannot get himself to actually go against her, and she's the one who can get close, and she ends up killing him.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, because I don't know how you. I don't want to get into spoilers, because if they do it, but like, Chani's not going to be like
okay with just being with
okay with what's going on. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be like in this weird thruple, like they are in Dune Messiah, when one of them is like, I'm staying here because F you guys, so just that alone changes the entire
kids and live there and all that stuff. That's not going to happen the same way.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. They made Chani more active character, and I love it. Exactly. She wasn't just there being like was it like a wife that just like takes orders, which is how she kind of is in the book, more or less.
She was a leader. That's what was in here. She was strong, and she was, part of her people. She knew who she was inside, which is totally different from the book.
Yeah. I didn't like the story of this holy war. That's not the point of Dune. The point is like, that's not the point. It's
not about spice. It's not about spice.
The point is about power and
power, control.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where was
spice
the
is just the thing they're using? Just like being in control of the where you grow cocaine. It's nothing to do with the cocaine. It has everything to do with control over it and who has the power over it. That's nothing to do with the actual drug.
One of the best lines they said in the first one, they said it again in this one, was like, the ability to destroy something is having true power over it. And then that's almost sums up what it was. Is like, you control the spice, so you can, or you have the ability to destroy it because you own the planet now. So now you have the power. So now, if you want, other people want it, it's like, that's where the power comes in. You're like, well, I can say F it and get rid of it all. It was never about the spice itself. It was control, power,
just to be
who's in charge. The Holy War. I mean, if you didn't like the Holy War, then you're not gonna like the rest of any of it, because the Holy War shit don't end.
It gets on crack, basically. It's on spice.
Yeah. It's on spice.
Some spice.
Also, I was kind of upset, real quick. They don't call it like the spice melange. They just I think they said it a few times in the first one, but in this one they just like, spice. I was like, no, I like spice melange.
Just spice.
I feel like those outsiders call them spice melange, because and the people that are there, the freemen, are gritty. They're like, this is just what we live with. It's just a spice, man. Let's go.
Yeah. Just like, it's like that, because Frank was it Frank Herbert? He just made crazy ass words. Like, you didn't need to call him like Moha. Was it? What was his name? Adi Mohit? No, his like Fremen name.
What did you call him? Oh my god.
You remember, Brandon? What was his name?
The desert rat. The desert mouse.
Rat. Like, the name he got. Mohabab.
Not off the top of my head.
I forgot what. See, even then, like, he made it so fucking complicated, and then the Benny called, they had him being the Quizar Hatterack or something like that, which they don't really talk about too much in the second one, Yeah. the Mohad Abdib, something like that. Mohab Abdib. But yeah, man, he just made shit hard on purpose. What was the whole point of Dune is to be wary of charismatic leaders. I don't know. Spice is just one plot. Yeah, charismatic. Yeah. You know, there's not only charismatic, but also like false prophets, you know. You know,
the Moad Deep. The Moad Deep.
Moada Deep. Yeah, Moada Deep. Yeah. So yeah, you know, so that's part of it is like, you know, it's it's control, power, manipulation of people to gain power. You know, the spice is just
it's just the thing that you use for power and during this time. There's always something, you know, there's either, it's people, slaves, it's jewels, it's diamonds, it's whatever. It's just whatever that thing is. The real power is the control over it. And that's what the idea is. It's the control over it.
Yeah.
And then they created this whole Messiah story.
That too.
To maintain control.
Yeah.
And it has to be an outsider.
So. Yeah. Yeah. Like the Bene Gesserit, like they didn't really get into it that much in this movie, but they did a lot in the first one, and they're the people behind the people, you know what I mean? So they're the ones that made the Messiah. They're the ones that told the story and started the story, and yeah, it was interesting. It was super, and that's why they were partially afraid of Paul. He was like, we won't be able to control him as we could other people, so they're like, we need to get rid of this family because we can't control them, and that was kind of thing. So they stick the emperor against them and stuff like that. So one picked up where one left off. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip around a little bit because we are falling behind. It's already like 30 minutes in. I still think Roman Reigns would be a great Lobo. Yeah, you see that.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
the wrestler.
Oh yeah.
The 1984 version was 10 times more accurate than this version. Seemed like Dune Light. It was more accurate, but was also a bad movie. Yeah, because it wasn't a good movie. Yeah. But also, Dune is notoriously known to like not be a book you can turn into a movie. And that's why the old version kind of was bad,
terrible.
But again, it's one of those cult classics where, like, if you're a sci-fi nerdy boy, like, you need to watch it. Like, you gotta watch it. So
you need
but
to
it's
know what's
not
going
good.
on.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like Xavier says, this will have to Denis will have to change a lot of Doom Messiah, which has both me intrigued and nervous. That's a very good point. Yeah.
Who said that? I missed that one.
Xavier.
Oh, Xavier right above it. Yeah.
Did
yeah. Which is intrigued and nervous, but I didn't like Doom Messiah, the book. So I'm wondering, like, if Denis does some cool stuff with that, I think he can make a book that I personally I don't have to say I didn't like. It was just getting like too much for me, but yeah, it'd be interesting.
I love what you're saying. They really hammered the point in part one, saying Shawnee said, "Who will be our next oppressors be, or who will the next oppressors be?"
Yeah.
And then the next face you see is Paul.
Yeah.
And that's where you go, Messiah. I tell you, somehow she allows it to happen. It's death.
That'd be interesting. But Brandon goes, I'm not watching Doom for theological purposes. I'm watching it for them to full space. But it's not just theological.
Dude.
But that's not what it's about. That's literally never what it's been about.
Yeah. They talk about it. They talk about it a lot less in the movies than they do in the books. But again, the people who fold space are just another political figure. You know what I mean? Same, so they don't ever get into the science. Not that I remember. They never really get into the science.
I don't think it really happens. Like it just happened.
Yeah,
and then
they talk
they
about
talk
it a little bit, and then that's
and
it.
how it's really more about the focus that the
Yeah,
spice provides.
yeah. I mean, Brandon, you said you watched the 1984 version. It's the same thing. You know, they talk about it a little bit in the beginning, and then that's it. They don't talk about folding space
Mhm.
again. You know, but I do like it where it's like it's something they can throw in there. They're like, oh yeah, they fold space and they can travel like light years in a matter of days or whatever. Because then the issue where other movies have, like Madam Web or even Game of Thrones at the end, where like, oh, you travel these long distances and you're there like the next day, you know. So
Mhm.
they use it as a plot point where like you can be in one place and then the next scene be in another place, you know, later on, you know. But I thought it was cool. Yeah, Dune, there are no good guys. Yeah, Paul does no more damage to the
Freeman.
Freeman than anyone.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. He said, "Oh, the white savior isn't really my main problem. My main problem is the folding space." That's where it was filmed. Man, I think you wanted
Yeah,
a full on
the wrong
sci-fi
reason,
film. You
man.
wanted Doctor Who, man. You wanted a Doctor Who
Mhm.
episode.
You wanted Star Trek,
Yeah.
not Star
Yeah.
Trek.
No.
It's not.
No. I think we're mostly.
It's
Oh my
not.
god, Brandon.
It's just
Yeah.
Brandon. It's just literally it's not the. That's not the point. It's literally
Yeah.
not the point.
Because that version was talked about. Yeah. Yeah, he went in there with the wrong mindset. And I think and I'm not saying it's your fault, you know, but if you go into a movie with the wrong mindset and certain expectations, most of the time you're usually let down.
Mhm.
And that's just anybody with any movie, you know. So I can't say I wanted to sit through another 3 hours of church space. I know about finding a savior and plot over the dead. Yeah. Yeah, religious theme. Come on, part 1 wasn't all about that.
But it was still
Now,
setting the
yeah,
setting. That
yeah,
was where we always were going to get to. It was just
yeah,
setting the set. It was
yeah,
building the world so you understand what was going on.
yeah.
That was part
Because
one. Was done.
yeah, I think part 1 still had the same themes as part 2. It just they switched two strong houses fighting right against each other, and then they switch it to a strong house. Well, actually, all the strong houses and just religious figure, you know. So it was still fighting amongst these people, you know. So, you know, and that's why Paul's like really dangerous because Paul understands the the in and outs of the empire and
The
being in a
idiosyncrasies.
house,
Yeah.
you know. At the same time, he's now a Fremen, you know. So now he has these like freedom fighters and these like people who are like high on spice all the time as as fighters. So you know he's uses both worlds to his advantage. So all right. Do this one and we'll move on. Even in the 1984 version, the reason the emperor sent them becomes they had to come up with a new way to fight the sound. Yeah, the whole sound thing. Yeah, that would have
Mhm.
been dope.
And that's where you went wrong, dude. You went in expecting the 1984 movie.
Yeah, yeah. Like I
Yeah,
said, the
you should have
1984
done
is a
89
lot
one.
like the book.
Mhm.
I forgot about the sound thing. Like, yeah. Frank Herbert goes super sci-fi, super crazy. And he goes even more crazy with the sci-fi stuff, like in like later books. Like I never read God Emperor, but I watched videos and I read synopsis, and I'm like, I'm glad I tapped out when I did because that shit
Yeah, because Children of
sounds
Dune is crazy, and then it's yeah,
insane. The
yeah.
God Emperor, like it was like I'm like, what is this person doing? Why are they doing that? Like, like I get why they're doing it to live thousands of years, but also what? Like it's just so stupid, and I don't want to ruin it. You could definitely watch a
What,
bunch of videos and details on stuff like that.
what
But
movie is that?
it's,
Oh my god, with Channing Tatum and oh my god, and girl from that '70s show,
Oh, Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter
oh,
Ascending. Jupiter Ascending.
oh my god!
Mhm.
Talk about
Very.
No, but that is very much like what where they go with Dune. It gets like that. And the houses, different houses, and they live for these thousands of years because they're using the stuff. It's very much like it. I'm telling you, it really is.
See, I don't want to get into spoilers, but yeah, no, I won't get into it. I doubt they're gonna make God Emperor Dune, movie, because that's gonna be the
I think it
fourth
ends
book.
at 3.
Yeah, it would end at 3 because that would make
Well,
sense.
the fourth
Because
book,
then
children are Dune. The fourth book is children are Dune.
no, that's the fourth book.
That's the third book. That's the third book. I'm sorry. Children of Dune is the third book. The fourth book is You're right. You're 100%
God,
right.
Yeah. Jupiter Ascending was super bad.
Yeah.
But that's same concept of the things that you really wanted, B.
Also the weird space.
Very, very, very interesting performance from Eddie Redmayne in that movie, though.
Oh, it was awful. Like this.
Yeah.
I create life.
Oh god, that was so bad.
Oh my god.
All right,
let's talk about hate.
Man, I gotta. Part of me wants to watch it again because I haven't seen that in years.
Jupiter City. I like watching it because it's so bad.
Yeah, it really is. It's awful, but I'm not even sure if I'd call it so bad it's good. I kind of want to.
It's so bad it's funny.
Yeah. Eddie Redmayne knew that he was in a bad movie. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to eat this shit sandwich, but I'm going to eat it with a very large smile. I think
it was supposed to be a 3-part. That was supposed to be 3 movies.
Oh, that was really? I know.
They signed it all. It was.
There's multiple times in that movie where you could just tell through Mila Kunis's expressions that she begins to realize and simultaneously regret what she signed up for.
Very much like Sydney Sweeney and Madam Web, because she was like talking trash about it at
SNL. She was like, I was not in Madam Web.
Yeah, don't watch it. Don't go watch. That's funny. That's funny. We got about half an hour left. Have you caught up with Bad Batch at all, Brandon?
Oh, thank you, Travis. Don't forget all this stuff, Travis.
Travis with the
thank you, Travis
super chat. Greetings, everyone. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. So far,
appreciate it, man.
Good.
To answer your question. To answer your question, I am trying to catch up on Bad Batch.
Okay. All right. I got to play our new favorite clip for super donations.
Shit, got your ass.
Perry White, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. It's relevant. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Oh, it works. Oh my. Shit.
Oh my god.
I hope he says that in Superman Legacy.
That would. Has he said it since he was in? He was in Cocaine Bear, and I don't think.
He was in. He did not say it in Cocaine Bear.
Yeah,
I was kind of waiting on it, but that did not happen.
Yeah. Oh my god! If he goes she to like Clark or like Lois or something like that,
doesn't he? No, I thought he does say.
Wait, no. That wasn't Wendell. That wasn't Wendell Pierce. I had it wrong. That was Isaiah Washington. I'm sorry. I had it completely wrong. That's not Perry White. Or am I wrong?
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, is it? Yeah, Wendell Pierce. That's yeah. I was looking up right now.
Yeah, I had it completely wrong. My bad.
Yeah, he was also in The Wire.
He's in The Wire.
Suits.
Yeah, he was in Suits. He was in Hackers back in the day.
Hackers. Oh my god, I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
First time I fell in love with Angelina Jolie. before she became who she is.
He had one of my favorite lines, one of my favorite cinematic lines ever in Hacker. I suggest you modify your attitude because you are floating, and I'm about to flush your ass.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
Right.
But
We got
thank you, Travis, for the chat.
Because we don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in season. Oh, you're in season 1 of Bad Batch. I don't want to ruin anything for you, Brandon, with Halo or Bad Batch.
So you're not caught up on Halo either.
No, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do it once I get home. Finally, I'm gonna start catching up on it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start catching up on it.
You'll get hooked. Well, we could talk.
I didn't even finish season 1 of Halo because it was pissing me off that much. So I'll bite the bullet and get through it, and then just get into season 2.
Start season 2. Just start season 2. Wherever you ended, season 1 is more than enough.
All right, good, because I couldn't take too much more of that.
All you need to know is the main characters, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what threw me off at the beginning of season 2 was like, but this happened and this happened and this happened and none of it mattered. So start season 2. You don't need whatever. If you watch at least 2 episodes of season 1, you're good. You're caught up. And then start season 2. But we could talk Bad Batch because there's no major spoilers. I don't think everything happens. But everything. But I was never surprised with anything. That was my thing.
The whole idea with Omega and then her
with the guys and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure, like Brandon, if you watch it, you would already kind of guess what everything's gonna happen. So I don't think it's spoilers. We're only about 4, 5 episodes in Bad Batch. 5. I think 5. So nothing.
Bad Batch. Yeah,
we're gonna talk about.
And I feel like Bad Batch is a quick enough watch where I could easily catch up on it.
Yeah,
that's why I say that's why we probably not do it at all, because then he'll be able to catch the Bad Batches. You can watch that. Like
you guys can go ahead. Go ahead.
You even have to see it. You can just listen to it and you know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, really. But we save Halo for Thursday because then we can get fully caught up. Yeah.
No, because Thursday, another one comes out.
Another episode comes out. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about Halo.
Yeah. We keep it up or something like that. Watch it, catch up, and maybe like tomorrow, me and Brian will just do a quick review, like just record it, just so we don't spoil it for you. Because that I don't want to spoil for you. I do not want to spoil that for you because that's fucking awesome. But yeah. I mean, if we're gonna say you want to save Bad Batch and Halo,
we can save both. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. We talked a lot about the Dune stuff anyway. Watch that Watchers trailer. It was not good.
Yeah.
Talk about craft dinner. I got eye candy. Craft dinner.
The blue box boots.
Yeah. But I don't think so hardly. You know what? Well, I got a quick thing we can talk about. The upcoming movies. It'd be a quick, like 15 minutes. We'll call it after that. Movie Insider or Movie Phone. I forgot what I always use. Movie Phone.
Is anyone gonna go see Imaginary this weekend?
I might wait.
Yeah,
I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm
unless
just.
people are like it's really good.
Yeah,
Brandon, that's a good
I think I'm
question.
just.
Wait, which one, Brandon? There we go. Oh yes, that's
What is
there
a
was something else. I
masterpiece?
knew it was
Where are
something
some
else.
masterpieces? Yeah, I think that's what I really want to
Yeah,
talk
let
about.
me. I had a list too.
Mhm.
Let me pull it up real quick.
No, I might wait on Imaginary. I think I'm just gonna go see Kung Fu Panda.
I'm definitely seeing that Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda is very much on my radar. Imaginary. I don't know. Wrong season. Some of the Blumhouse stuff hasn't really been landing for me recently. Like the lead actress,
I
like
agree.
DeWanda Wise. Yeah, probably wait on Imaginary. Not really in a rush. See what kind of reviews it gets.
Yeah, that's if it's good, I'm like okay. I'm like I like a good scary movie, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to waste my time. All right.
Mhm.
So let me just hit this and then we'll get right into to that conversation. All right. So we got a lot of people talking about this Dune 2 being a masterpiece. I don't know, Brandon. I don't know if you said, do you think it is a masterpiece? Me and Brian are kind of like, not yet, or maybe not.
I think.
But
I don't think
I think. I think there's a grace period that a movie must pass in order for me to
mm,
comfortably consider it a masterpiece.
same.
It's only been a weekend. It's not
Yeah.
it's not even it hasn't even been a week. So I think maybe if you check in with me 6 months, 9, maybe a year down the line,
Yeah. That,
then we can
yeah, that's the same
yeah.
exact thought I have. Like it at least a year. People need to talk about it and fully break it down and get the
Mhm.
details and then find out if it is a masterpiece or not.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
yeah.
and it's a terrific movie. Don't get me wrong, but you know when you're that early on and the movie is that fresh in your mind, it is easy to talk with that still be fueled by the hype. That's nothing to take away from the movie, at all. But I think I'd have to hold off a little bit before I can comfortably call it a masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Because we got one person. There you go. Brand Davis. Because we were talking about masterpieces on Facebook and this and that, and that word's going flying around everywhere right now. So it was like, okay, maybe let's talk about what some movies are masterpieces. Because in order to be a masterpiece, I think you need to be compared to what already is a masterpiece. Even if they're different
Hmm.
genres, a masterpiece movie is still one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
So the genre doesn't matter as much as it being a good film, a good movie.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So what do you guys have as some of your masterpieces? Brian, what you got?
I could definitely. I think Shawshank Redemption is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. I think that's a
Hmm.
masterpiece. I
Yeah.
literally think it was a perfectly acted, balanced. Because the two main actors are both very balanced. You know, they each mean everything to each other. Like it was a great story. Everything is great with that. Another one for me, Goodwill Hunting. I think Goodwill Hunting is a masterpiece. I love that movie. And I think it's funny because it comes from these two young guys coming, they wrote it when they're in high school. But it's perfect. I feel like the
Yeah.
Hmm.
balancing of it and the whole idea um from Robin Williams and Matt Damon, and
Matt Damon.
it was so well done. I think that's another one that we're talking about are just unbelievably perfect movies. That everything they did was great. Um, I don't know if it's a master.
Mm,
Was it? Is it not Interstellar, but Inception? Inception
okay.
to me is perfect. when they leave you with questions because they don't tell you where all the answers are, and it leaves it for interpretation. I think that's another thing. That's a masterpiece. Great done. It changed the way movies were made. And when I'm talking about changing movies, the way movies are made, Matrix in 1999 changed the game. It changed the game. Everything that you thought was great, everything you thought was happening, changed. It just. And I'm talking about more modern day because I know we got you always have the Godfather Part 2. You have Citizen Kane. You have all those things. But I mean, these are movies that I saw. I was like, dude, this is it.
Yeah. Again, another movie, Matrix, real quick. Matrix, a Messiah. To see the chosen one kind of movie. So yeah. So.
But that was on my list too. But I remember walking out of the movie theater saying, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
Never. And I don't think I feel that same way about Dune Part 2. Because I knew the story, I knew what was going on, and I didn't walk out saying, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So, but I'm literally comparing it to the best stories of all time. And I'm in my top 5 of The Lion King, because I think The Lion King is the perfect animation story ever. It's just perfectly done. Music, everything, storyline, sucks you in. That's it. So those are mine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. What are you, Brandon?
Brandon?
You got movies or you need a moment?
No, I know you already said Shawshank Redemption, so I'll let you have that one. It's definitely one of the ones at the top of my list. I'd say another one is Psycho.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of the definitive horror movies, if not the one. I think it takes things that you usually wouldn't associate with horror and makes them like tense and scary. Like even some of the ways that it's shot, like, with Mother Bates like walking up the staircase at the detective, that was scary. That was like one of the scariest scenes, I've ever watched. I'd say another one is The Departed. Easily my favorite Martin Scorsese movie. I think everything about it. Say what?
Say everybody got shot in the face.
Yeah,
sure did. I think everything about it, from like the pacing to the performances, it's what really, I was at that point where I was paying progressive attention to Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor. And not just a Hollywood heartthrob, but like a full-on actor. I'd say another one is Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
has some problems. I've always thought those Silence of the Lambs had problems.
Really? I can see that.
Yeah. Great movie, yo. I always thought it had problems. But when you said Silence of the Lambs, that made me think about, how do you feel about 7?
Oh, I love 7.
I think 7 is one of those movies that don't have those issues, because the things that they don't show you drive you wild, drives your imagination crazy. I think that's another thing that's a masterpiece, where you could put it together and you finish. I bet you they finished making that movie. They said, "Yeah, we got one, guys. We got one."
I'm sure a lot of people. I'm sure people after Madam Web was like, "This is gonna be a good one." So
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. They're like, "Are we done yet?" Yeah.
What are some other ones that trying to? I just had one. Shit. Kind of taking an easy route with this one, but kind of piggybacking off what you said, Brian, with David Fincher. I absolutely love Fight Club.
Yeah,
Fight Club's another good one, man.
That's it.
That might be a masterpiece. I might put that in my masterpiece level too.
Yeah. And everything about that one. I remember I used to like rent that over and over and over again. It drove my parents insane. I actually wanted to go see it in the theater when I was little. My parents didn't want to take me. Um, yeah, and then when it came out, I finally got them to like rent it for me, and then I would rent it over and over and over and over again. So yeah, that's another one. And happy you actually mentioned Disney animation. I'm not going to take the Lion King from you, Brian, but I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast because that's one of my favorite Disney animated movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Surprised no one said Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
well, it's not my favorite Tarantino movie. It's up there.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
yeah, like some of the ones like from masterpiece because there's like my personal favorite movies, and then there's like
Mhm.
masterpieces. Like Fight Club is probably one of my all time favorite movies, like all the time.
Mhm.
You know, same thing with Matrix, but I would put Matrix as a masterpiece and not
Over. Yeah.
Fight Club. You know, what I mean, because Fight Club is
Mhm.
amazing. I love it. You know, like yeah, it was a great movie with great actors. Um, you know,
I
but
remember just
Matrix,
being like, holy crap, when that twist happened, when you
yeah,
find out like who and what Tyler Durden really is.
yeah, yeah, you know, and then just the change of it all. This was
Mhm.
amazing. But for me, like Godfather Part Two is probably
Oh,
for
I'm so
me
sorry. I
the
have one more. I'm so sorry. I have one
what you
more.
got.
American History X.
Yeah, dude, that one's on my list too.
Hmm.
Because again, that's another, and I like stories like that, you know, where like
Hmm.
a character starts off one way, and in this case, a really, really, really bad way, goes through some shit and has a really
Hmm.
interesting arc, and it's so extreme. Like American History X
Hmm.
goes from like dude is literally a Nazi, goes to jail,
Hmm.
and like has a complete like change, and everything's changing around him, and you know, and then it's also like what he has to deal with from being his old self with his family, you know, trying to go
Hmm.
down the same route. It's such a that is a masterpiece.
Right.
That one.
Fun fact. Fun fact. It was not. It was almost. It was the role of Derek almost was not played by Edward Norton.
Oh, really?
Originally the studio wanted Joaquin Phoenix,
Oh,
and
ooh.
Oh.
he yeah right
I love Joaquin, but
couldn't picture it.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
couldn't see him in that role. But he passed on it because he didn't like the story content.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean,
So he
it
passed
could
on
be
it.
it could be a film where like, hey, we want you to play a Nazi. You're like, oh, hold on a second,
Hmm.
you know. So yeah, you know, and luckily, I think
Yeah,
Edward Norton is a good enough actor where he was able to do that and you know be
yeah.
so
The fact,
more than himself.
yeah, and he was like scary during the Nazi scenes,
Yes.
especially
Oh
the
my god.
Just the
yeah.
curve.
Yeah.
You know, Bram knows a lot of stuff. He does, man. He
Yeah,
knows a
dude.
lot about like the like movie like info and stuff, which is yeah.
Mhm. um, but yeah, like I'd say American History X for sure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder,
No,
Brian.
it's all good. No, because that's on my list, man. So it kind of like connects it. Because
Hmm.
yeah, because it's not a movie where I think, yeah, I mean, we already talked about that. The Godfather Part Two, I think, do we even talk about it? Like, it's just a that's a perfect movie, you know, like for me. Um, you know, what else I had? Matrix, you know, you guys already talked about, love that one. When you guys know Rocky, I think Rocky is a masterpiece because again, it's another story of a man, you know, it starts here and ends here, and it's just like this the challenges and everything. And I mean, it
Hmm.
really put Stallone on a level, you know, and on a trajectory that like he became
Mhm.
Stallone. He became the dude, you know, like just everyone knows him. But you know,
Yeah,
Rocky was
it's like the ultimate underdog story, right? The
yeah,
definitive one,
yeah.
dare I say?
No, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, American History X, Shawshank is on my list as a masterpiece. Um, I was looking at a list, and the one I was looking at, they have Forrest Gump, and I'm like, I don't know if it's a masterpiece. I
Yeah,
get why
that's
people
good. I
call
don't
it
know.
a masterpiece, though. You know, I get why people call
Great
it
movie. I love Forrest Gump. Yeah.
amazing movie.
I
Love
love it
it.
too.
You know, yeah. Same with Scarface. Love Scarface. It is
It
amazing.
is not a
You know,
masterpiece though.
I don't know if it's a masterpiece though. You
Yeah, I
know,
don't know if I call it a masterpiece.
I can't put it at the level. Again, amazing movie. Love it. Watch it a mazillion times. You know, and it's a movie I'll never get tired of, but it's just not at that level. Um, The Lion King, definitely. That's on my list too. But I'll finish with these last two. Jaws, I think, is a masterpiece
Mhm.
where you're able to tell this story and just you're so scared the entire time, and you never see the monster, and the monster is just a shark, you know, where
Mhm.
it built it up so much for you, and you're just like you're freaked out, you're scared. I mean, it's so much of an amazing story that it legit caused like this crazy, you know, shark hunt, you know, for years after, you know, because people thought like sharks were just going to kill people at beaches all of a sudden because Jaws is out, you know. So, you know, Jaws I think is good. But Return of the King, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King,
Mhm.
that's a masterpiece because that story is perfect. It's amazing, and I know friends of our channel, a friend of the channel, Kenny Sparks just watched it, and I know Zach Attacks is about to watch it, and I can't wait for them to watch it because it is one of my all time favorites, and I think it is just an amazing movie that just changed
Mhm.
fantasy, sci-fi. It set another level. You know, it's like this is the peak of fantasy sci-fi. Can you get to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. And I don't know if a movie has gotten that close to it, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because I like Harry Potter more than I like Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter is great. Harry Potter is
Yeah.
great.
But I don't think any of those movies are masterpieces. I think they're all just really good. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad
Same.
said, Princess Bride. Princess
Yeah.
Bride is my all time favorite movie to watch. All time. I love that movie.
Mhm.
I don't know if I call it a
Brandon.
And
masterpiece. But it's close. It's
Prince, and Prince Humperdinck, Brian is in one of my favorite movies of all time.
What's that?
Brian, come on, help me out.
What's his favorite movie of all time?
One of them, Fright Night.
Fright Night.
Oh,
Yes, he's in Fright Night. Oh
Mhm.
my god, no,
yeah.
he knows this Fright Night. What the hell's wrong with me? Oh,
Mhm.
Oh
Jerry
yeah.
Dandridge,
yes,
the original.
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yep.
yeah. Um, yeah, no, that's a.
Yeah. So like
I know.
ABC said Matrix is his number one and number two is A Bronx Tale. I think
Bronx
Oh,
Tale is
that's a
a
good
Tale
one.
very good movie. That's
it's
a
a really good
very
one. Yeah. So I thought it was funny. He goes, they didn't spend the entire time beating you over the head saying Neo was the Messiah. You get it brought up, yes, but it wasn't 3 hours. Dude, every other sentence
he's
Morpheus
the
was saying
one.
was like, "You're the one, because you're the one now, Neo. He's the one. He's learning to be the one." Like he beat it over your head. Like,
You
Yeah,
believe
but that,
now,
and
Trinity. You believe
and then they hammer you. They like hit you with a sledgehammer with it in the sequels.
oh my god, yeah. Yeah, but
yeah,
again, but
yeah.
that's the point of it is like, did he become the one because he believed it, or did he become the one because he was pushed more than a normal person? You know, it kind of, you know,
No,
I
he
don't know.
Mhm.
There's that whole kind of,
obviously there are other ones, and he was the one that was the one.
he's the, yeah, they have that too.
He's the real
So,
the one.
but I just thought that was funny. Like they didn't beat you over the head. They beat it over the head.
Mhm.
It's in the sequels, like Brandon said. Um, he says, "Yo, I'm back. Just got out of work."
Hey, Matt.
Can't forget The Graduate. Graduate's a good one. Graduate's a good one.
Mhm.
Sunny Pictures do decent. Yeah, it's gonna do okay.
Yeah. The first two did. So
Yeah. Back to the
Back to the
Future.
Future ones. It's one of my favorite movies. I don't know if it's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Again, yeah. A great
Feels like
movie, and I think a masterpiece is just told in a different way that I think everyone's gonna love it. Where
Mhm.
obviously everyone has their favorite movies,
Yeah.
But your
And
favorite movie is not necessarily going to be a masterpiece. It might be to you,
yeah.
but critically.
Yeah, and I think for like common folk like us, it's kind of easy to get to confuse and this isn't to take anything from Brandon at all, like at all. But for me, sometimes it's easy to confuse masterpiece with memorable, or like a classic movie. Back to the Future obviously is a classic and it's very memorable. I automatically think of it like it's my go-to time travel movie. You know,
Mm.
I could watch it on a permanent loop, even the sequels. I think they're all very memorable. I myself, I may have a hard time calling the first one a masterpiece. Definitely one of my favorite movies. I watched it all the time with my dad. My dad loves Back to the Future. I actually got him the years back. I got him like the DVD set for Christmas. But
Nice.
but yeah, memorable or memorable and classic versus masterpiece. For me, it's really easy to kind of cross those wires.
Yeah.
Okay, so where would you guys rank Empire Strikes Back?
Man,
it's close to being a
I'm
masterpiece.
it is, and it's probably personally it's probably my favorite of all the Star Wars movies.
Same.
It's the best one.
I think,
Best
yeah,
one.
I think it. I almost kind of want to call it a masterpiece, especially when you consider that no one had really seen a whole lot like it at that point in time, especially when it came to cinema. It's almost like the hero's lost.
Yeah.
You know,
You didn't get that at all
um,
until in the 70s. Like,
yeah, you didn't really see a whole lot of that.
yeah.
So I think it's kind of like the gold standard when it comes to. I almost kind of want to call it a masterpiece in that regard.
It's close. It gotta be up
It's in
there, man.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it has to be.
Yeah.
I almost kind of
But
want to say it's a masterpiece.
I feel like masterpiece doesn't necessarily mean my best, my favorite movie. As I said, Good Will Hunting, I feel like is done so perfectly. But I think if it's on my rank of all time movies, it's probably like 30. But I think it was done perfectly. And that's why I Shawshank the Redemption. There's some days where I can't watch Shawshank. Like I can't watch. Doesn't mean that it's not a masterpiece. It's masterfully done.
Yeah.
Unbelievably done.
Yeah. I mean, just because you're not in the mood for a certain vibe of a movie doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
Well,
You're
no,
just,
I don't think
you're not
every time.
feeling it.
I don't think it's every time I won't enjoy.
Oh, you won't enjoy it.
Return of the Jedi. No, I'm sorry, Empire Strikes Back.
Empire.
There's no time that I wouldn't enjoy that. But Inception, I can watch Inception anytime. But I think there's some movies that are good and some movies that are just for you. Dead Poet Society. That's another one I think is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, let's go. So Brandon said, "Masterpiece is a film that can't be remade, stands the test of time, and is a damn near perfect film." Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong on any of those. The remake one, maybe. Like I'm sure people will try, whether it's good or not, it's a different thing. But the thing is, like, what makes a perfect film? I think that's the deciding factor for a lot of people. It's like, what makes the film perfect? Is it the story? Is it everything? The acting, the story, the setting, the vibes, stuff like that. Because I'm looking at the Breakfast Club. They on this list it has Breakfast Club as a masterpiece. I don't know, man. It's great.
It's fine.
It's more than fine, man. It's a great movie.
It's definitely not for me, but it's not for me.
Yeah, but I mean, John Hughes made amazing movies back in the day, but they were all very dated, I guess. So I wouldn't count it as a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong, but but they could kind of remake it, but it wouldn't have the same vibes. But I don't know. So it's like, but according to that, like Breakfast Club should be a masterpiece, and I don't think it is. Well,
What about Schindler's List?
we lost Brandon.
Yeah.
Schindler's is a masterpiece. It's not a movie I want to watch all the time because it is a very, very sad, depressing movie. But also a sad and depressing movie doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's a sad and depressing movie, but that's definitely a masterpiece. Usually like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. I know you brought it up. I can
Everyone
see why
says Pulp Fiction. Everyone has Pulp Fiction as a masterpiece. It's a top 10 movie.
Yeah. And you had amazing actors, a great story, great director. Everything looked great. Everything was perfect.
And then
Reservoir
Zed's
Dogs,
dead.
I get why a lot of people don't like Reservoir.
Zed's dead. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Zed's dead.
He's on the it's a chopper, baby. It's not motorcycle, it's a chopper.
Oh, bring it in.
That was weird.
Okay.
Hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. For me, a masterpiece needs memorable quotes. That for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I think because what makes it, because like what Brandon was saying, being memorable, but also like a masterpiece should be memorable, but not every memorable movie is a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Is T2 a masterpiece or just the best action movie ever created?
Best action movie ever created.
Best action movie ever. Like it's crazy how much that movie still holds up.
But it's not a masterpiece. I don't think so.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that a little earlier, like when we first started talking about this. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece. I think it's definitely James Cameron's best work. It's certainly my favorite work from him.
Yeah. Matt, go back and watch some of the early stuff. We were talking about Dune for a while. We get into a lot of cool stuff about it. So,
and you know what I really? I'm sorry, Brian.
Go ahead. No,
I was reading Never Ending Story. That's a good.
No, and like the other thing that I really appreciate about Terminator 2 and really the first two Terminator movies is how like kind of like the genre shift between the two of them. Because if you think about it, the first Terminator was really a high concept slasher movie.
Yeah,
it was a high concept horror movie. And then the second one was just like full on I'm not even sure I'd call it an action movie or like a sci-fi movie. It's an action movie with kind of like a sci-fi plot, if that makes sense, or like a kind of basic sci-fi plot as the framework. But yeah, I think it really helped set the gold standard for action movies. It was amazing, and it revolutionized a lot of CG.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah,
I got one more for you guys. Is Gladiator on the list?
Ooh, another one of my all-time favorite movies, Gladiator.
I just was dismissed. Like, come on, man, let's go.
But is it a masterpiece?
A masterpiece, though.
That's a good question. I would need to think about that one. I would need to think about it and compare it to other like best movies ever made. But it's close. It's got to be
Joaquin Phoenix
very,
did the
very
damn
close.
thing on it. I mean, it's there. I mean,
yeah.
Russell Crowe did his thing. Oh my gosh, it's so well done. The story is great. Oh man, I'm only asking because I don't know the answer.
It's interesting to me to see how excited people are for the sequel and are just ignoring just how unnecessary the sequel is.
It should be a standalone movie. It should be a standalone movie.
It's gonna come out and it's gonna be like the Terminator sequels or Indiana Jones sequels where everyone's all excited for it, and then it comes out and then finally people will be like, that we didn't need that movie. Why did you make it? I'm counting on it. Plus, what was the last memorable movie Ridley Scott made?
Oh,
Gladiator.
that
Yeah,
is,
exactly. Exactly. Mhm.
I hate when I bring up extra windows. So annoying. Laggy.
Brandon says Coming to America. I think Do the Right Thing better than Coming to America. I think Do the Right Thing is close to a masterpiece than Coming to America. Coming to America is a good spoof and it's a great movie and enjoyable.
Mhm.
Do the Right Thing is Spike Lee's masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here he said Purple Rain, Ghostbusters, MI4. Any of those masterpieces?
Purple Rain.
Rain's a great movie. But I
Mhm.
don't think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. What I call Ghostbusters a masterpiece. Much as I love Ghostbusters,
Love it.
and I love it, I love almost everything Ghostbusters. The remake didn't do a whole lot for me, unfortunately. The first Ghost, I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, great music, great acting,
Mhm.
great story.
Mhm.
But the villain wasn't that great. So that's I don't know if
Yeah.
it's a masterpiece. I think
I can't.
it's
Yeah. I
the
can't
realm
give.
are really, 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 really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
can't give
sure. Yeah.
Ghostbusters that title of masterpiece. It's great. It's great, and I love it. I'll watch it 100 times, but
Mhm.
I can't. And then MI4, man, you're really
Which
showing
one's
Mission
Ghost
Impossible
Protocol?
4. I think so.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one. First
Yeah,
one when
but
they started to go out, step outside the actual
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
I'd say my favorite of the Mission Impossible movies, if I had to like pick a masterpiece out of them, even though I can't really like in good conscience call any of them masterpieces as much as I love them, but I think like Fallout came closest.
Yeah. Fallout was awesome.
Fallout was great. Much as I like and I really like Mission Impossible really hit its groove for me. We may have talked about this in the past. It really hit its groove for me and found its footing starting with the third movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Mission Impossible really started doing it for me.
He's like, however, it was a perfect film. Dean gave it an A.
I love the Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's very, very, very good. I
Yeah.
mean, like I just said, like I mean, the Empire Strikes Back. Like, these are movies that are all time great movies. Doesn't mean that they're are they a masterpiece? It's hard. Gladiator. I just said Gladiator. Gladiator is like off the damn chain.
Yeah.
Don't know where to
Gladiator
rank.
is definitely in the discussion, at some point in the next couple of years of it becoming one. MI4. Sorry, I love the newer ones. I thought ever since from 4 up, like they're doing some cool, fun stuff, but none of them would be
Yeah,
masterpieces. Like
yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah. I can't really call any of them masterpieces. I think they're really like terrific movies, and I'm happy that the series has like has gone this far, like hit like
They breathe new life
this much
into each movie.
longevity. Yeah, we're nearing 30 years of Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise. He's consistently been the star.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mama Bear with Green Mile makes so much sense. Green Mile is
now there's a masterpiece.
I mean, what can you do to change that movie to make it any better? There's literally nothing. I can't think of anything you could change to make it better.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. No, same. It was the perfect with what's his name.
Here's the only problem I have with Green Mile. The only thing I have a problem with Green Mile is it makes me so sad that I can't watch it all the time. Like I can't. I just can't put it back on. It's like, oh, it's so sad. It makes me so angry with people.
Yeah, I think I've watched that movie in its entirety probably like 2 or 3 times, and that's enough. And that's nothing to take away from the movie. But yes, it's a movie that upsets me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's part of what makes it a masterpiece is the emotional impact it has on you is so impactful, where you're just like you get emotional, you get angry, you get sad, and
See Michael Clark Duncan actually going through that whole thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How can you not cry?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Makes me do math after every time. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean but like that's one thing is like Green Mile you can compare to some of these other masterpieces, Leaves.
Have baked.
It's a masterpiece. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right.
Mary
We're gonna
Mary Jane.
Dark Knight. Dark Knight it's close. I don't know if I can count it as
Dark Knight is very close to being a masterpiece. It's very close.
Yeah. I would say it's when it comes to like comic book movies, it's up there as being a masterpiece.
It's the second greatest comic book movie ever made.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to.
I think Logan's better though.
It took me so long to finally watch that movie. It took me so long to finally watch Logan.
Logan.
It's so
that's
good.
right. Yeah, Logan's another good one. Again, I don't know if it's a masterpiece though. Because you got to put these up to Schindler's List, like you said.
Yeah, am I putting it next to Shawshank Redemption? And
they got to be at that level. American History X. Yes, that's at that same level of movie. Green Mile, I would, I'd probably put it
American
up there.
History X. I have always at the bottom of my all time great list. Always, and it has nothing to do with the movies because it's hard for me to watch at the beginning. Yeah. But does it mean that it's not a great movie? It's a masterpiece. I didn't argue that 1 second. When he says a masterpiece, I just say, yeah, it is, but I don't necessarily like it.
Yeah. Unbreakable masterpiece?
No.
For me, no.
It's not even the best out of the whole the trilogy.
Yeah. Is that what's the best comic book movie? Yeah. For me and Brian, Logan. Dark Knight's up there. Infinity War, Endgame are up there. Spider-Man 2 is up there.
I'd say Infinity War.
I literally feel like it goes like Logan. I love because I love the old man Logan. I think that was so well done, and then Dark Knight. But the fact that both Infinity War and Endgame are both in the top 5, like they're right next to each other. That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Russo brothers. Come back.
Yeah, I'd say Infinity War might be my number 1 favorite comic book movie or superhero movie. Like the build up to Thanos just completely paid off. I thought it was awesome how they more or less kind of treated him as the protagonist or like in a warped way, like the hero of the story.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
People that wearing T-shirts that say Thanos was right.
Graffiti.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And Endgame a close like runner up because I find it to be the more satisfying movie of the two. Just being a fan of the Avengers and wanting to see the Avengers come out on top. But I thought Infinity War was like the better movie. I thought.
Yeah. We were talking about that.
And then I'd probably put the Dark Knight behind those two.
Thanks, Brian. like this tree.
Yeah, I'd probably put the Dark Knight behind those two just because it was like a crime drama that just happened to be about comic book characters.
They were just.
I always say it's because the greatest. I think it's the Joker was the best villain I've ever seen in a comic book.
Yeah,
what Heath Ledger did as a villain is the best villain I've seen. Period. Like
ever.
And that says a lot. And that's even with Thanos. And Thanos is amazing. I think Heath Ledger as a Joker, just acting wise, can't compete.
Yeah.
There's no actor that did like that.
dude, like the world was going to be his after that role. He was just going to like
whatever he wanted to do.
Game over. Yeah. Blank check.
I would have loved to have seen. The only best part of No Way Home was Andrew.
Oh yeah, I said that there.
I like that. Well, I liked seeing Green Goblin get his ass frigging handed to him at the end. That was just so satisfying to me. I think everyone's just wanted to beat the brakes off someone they hate exactly like that.
Real quick, because you're talking about Green Goblin, and it reminds me of the whole scene of like, oh, I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. He did that. So William Dafoe was in Poor Things. He did that in Poor Things. I lost my fucking shit because that was hilarious. He was like, oh, I'm somewhat of I forgot what he said. I'm somewhat of a blah 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 too. And I was like, no, he fucking did it. He did not do a Spider-Man line in Poor Things. Shut up. That was so stupid. Like I had to pause it and because I was laughing so hard. I'm like, come on.
I forgot about that.
No one knew. Like, did the director was just like whatever. Like
he probably said, let him go.
I forgot what he said he was, but he did it, and I'm like, no way. That was funny as shit. And I'm like,
yeah. Now that's coming.
We need to stop this conversation because we love movies.
Yeah,
we will be talking here till 1:00, and it's already 12:25. So I think we gotta stop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 2 hours behind you guys. So
yeah, if you like, it's not even 10:30 yet.
I know.
I'm like, look, all right, get up in the morning.
You can get caught up with Bad Batch or Halo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we already been talking for this for like almost 40 minutes. So Scarface Paid in Full. Yeah. All right. But yeah,
Paid in Full, I love it.
You know, talking about all their masterpiece movies. Super fun, you know. We might talk about it later. Maybe we'll get a panel together and talk about like masterpiece movies. You know, I think that'd be kind of cool. Get a couple like
can't bring Zach in though, because Zach's gonna say some stuff that I don't want to make me angry.
I know, man. I know. He's like, oh, I like Star Wars, but I didn't grow up on it, so I don't love it. I'm like, shut up.
Turn the King ain't even that good. You know what? Come get you.
Yeah, I think he's gonna like it. I think he's gonna say it's overrated. I don't, because he loved Fellowship. He loved Fellowship. He's like great. He liked Two Towers. He didn't love it though, which that's the bottom of the three is Two Towers for sure. I think he's gonna like because it looks like he likes the series so far. So
he's gonna like it. I don't know if he's gonna find it a masterpiece, and that's what's gonna make me angry.
No. Yeah. All right, but yeah, let's get out of here. Appreciate everyone in here talking about their all their masterpiece movies and favorite movies and all that stuff. So we'll be back on Thursday. We're gonna talk about some of these TV shows, get caught up on that, watch a few more trailers, and whatever news might happen. So you know, we never know. We might get some like crazy news. You know, we'll see.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So but cool. Appreciate everyone. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for almost 3 hours. Jesus. But yeah, we will see you guys on Thursday. Shout out to all the channel members, Cleves, who else? Channel members. Anzo was in
Mama
here.
Bear.
Mama Bear, of course. Mama Bear, yes.
Brandon.
Channel member. Brandon. Yeah, of course, Brandon Davis. Yeah, so thank you all you guys. Appreciate all you guys so much. But let's get out of here. Thank you guys. We will see you guys on Thursday. Later.
See you, fellas.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.